without Morgan Riley in the lineup. Hey, Austin Matthews might score 70 goals, and him and Mitch Marner look like a dynamic duo. Look, we found a way to get you enough storylines in a 60-minute show.
Yeah, and we did mention one of Anaheim Duck and Rad Cougars, but yeah, I mean, it's not the sexiest matchup, but the Leafs on a Saturday night's always worth it, and it's a big game. 2 more big points on the table in the absence of Morgan Riley and John Tavares in this game.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll get you set for Puck Drop on the other side. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, of the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Unhibernate, a verb. To laugh in the face of snow because you drive a Subaru. As in, when I unhibernate, I have the roads all to myself because my Subaru has symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and others don't. Or, the award-winning safety in my Subaru means I can unhibernate all winter while my neighbors stare longingly from their bedroom windows. Or my favorite usage, I'm going to unhibernate this winter by visiting my local Subaru dealer today. Welcome to Uncommon Winter Confidence.
Truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think 2-minute truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2-minute-truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
What if we told you there's a place that's leading the charge in making electric vehicles and batteries? A place where more people are working than ever before. A place powering the future with clean nuclear energy and building new roads and highways to get everyone moving. And what if we told you already live there? It's happening here in Ontario. Learn more at ontario.ca/building our economy. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Move up to Heathwood. Hi, I'm Hugh Herwin. Experience true luxury at Williamsburg Green in Kitchener. Williamsburg Green is everything you want in a community. Enjoy fabulous trails, parks, playgrounds, sports areas, and more. Our beautiful all-brick homes include luxury features you've always dreamed of, even a fully finished lower level. It's time to move up to Heathwood. Learn more at heathwood.com.
SiriusXM NBA Radio is your all-access pass to All-Star Weekend.
LeBron, 3 for the tie. It's good!
All weekend long, we're in Indianapolis talking to the best players in the world.
Steph Curry. I'm excited to be here.
Then today, it's the three-point and slam dunk contest.
And he'll rise the jam!
And tomorrow, it's the 2024 NBA All-Star Game. Hear it on your home for All-Star Weekend. NBA Radio, Channel 86 in the car, and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
And we're with John Cooper, head coach of the Lightning.
Can you kind of talk about your relationship with your captain?
You know, whether I say it's a friendship or whatever we have, our bond is it's really come and really evolved over the years. He's one of the greatest, he's our greatest ambassador, but I think he's one of the greatest ambassadors for the sport. You know, the kid's a class act, and it's been really a pleasure to watch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
The last 10 NHL drafts, 62 American kids have gone in the first round. So they're averaging over 6 kids per draft per first round. But I think the lowest you could rank America as a global hockey power now is 2, and it might be 1, and we might find that over the next couple of years. Take a bow, USA Hockey.
Point with Boomer Gordon, 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
If you're a soccer fan, you know that this music means one thing. The Champions League is on SiriusXM FC.
Hat-trick for Erling Haaland. Kane scores!
The top teams from around Europe are battling for club soccer's holy grail.
Real Madrid do what they do best. What a start for Inter!
Hear all the top Champions League matches all tournament long on SiriusXM FC 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Hi, this is Ray Hudson, and for all the biggest matches from club soccer's holy grail, the UEFA Champions League, tune in to Sirius XM FC 157.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound. Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Group.
This is Molson Leafs Hockey.
We're about to bring the war right now. Sound the alarm.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Leafs host the Anaheim Ducks here at Hockey Night in Canada at Scotiabank Arena. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert here for the next few minutes before we send it to puck drop. We spent the last hour teeing this up, and the last storylines going into tonight's game. You got Austin Matthews, who is officially on pace for over 70 goals, 70.98. So round up if you're an optimist, or round down if you're Justin. Last time a player scored 70 goals was in 1992/93. Alexander McGillney with 76 and Teemu Selanne with 76. So, he's already in rare territory with the way that he started his season as his career as a Maple Leaf. Really does feel like anytime the Maple Leafs need a hero, he puts the cape on and he finds a way.
It's real special stuff. There's no doubt about it. There's no one in the league that does what Austin Matthews does. That doesn't mean it's the most, well, it is the most valuable thing actually in the league, scoring goals. It doesn't mean he's got the most vast skill set, the most impressive skill set. Doesn't mean he's the best player in the league, but no one shoots it into the back of the net better than Austin Matthews, and they don't get any points without Austin Matthews. Putting the team on his back against the Philadelphia Flyers, scoring 3 goals in the space of, 7 minutes. Just a brilliant performance from him, and a shining example of why he is the best goal scorer on the planet. And he scores 70 goals the first time since what, 93 you said?
92-93.
92-93. I mean, how can you deny him a Hart Trophy, his second, if he scores 70 goals this season?
This actually feels like one of the first times in a while that there's like a real Hart Trophy
It's wide
debate.
open.
It's really wide open. You've got Kucherov, who's putting up points like nobody's business. Nathan McKinnon's been the favorite for a long time. Then you got Mr. Connor McDavid, who they were in the basement.
Laying in the weeds.
They were in the basement, and they have found their way to compete at least. So lots of intrigue. We'll see if Austin Matthews can do it again tonight. But, usually I kind of get in there and I pick our player to watch, and I took executive decision tonight.
Yes, you did. And I will let you choose the player to watch. Go ahead.
Why did you signal me?
I'm just making sure that you're picking the player that I want to pick, because he's our player to watch tonight, without a doubt.
Yeah, Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yes.
Tyler Bertuzzi is our player to watch. And you know what? Maybe it's a bit of manifesting. I'll do it. He has the second longest goal drought in his career, 19 games. We know that. He's stuck on 98 career goals. So my little bonus bet is maybe he gets 2 and he makes it 100. Anyway, we're not going to get too greedy here. In his last 19 games, he has 30 shots, 57 shot attempts, 35 scoring chances, including 24 high danger chances. He's got a 4.23 expected goals, and he's got 0 of them. Let's open the floodgate. Let's pick Tyler Bertuzzi today. He is our player to watch, presented by Bet365. Visit the app for the latest odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 18 plus, Ontario only. Play responsibly. Give me a Bertuzzi anytime goal. Let's break this thing open.
Yep, plus 320 on Bet365. We might have to bring up 2 goals or more, because the dam is breaking sooner than later, and I think the dam is breaking tonight. I think Tyler Bertuzzi is going to get on the board here. I love plus 320. If they keep giving us plus 320s, play it the rest of the year. These goals are coming, I think, for Tyler Bertuzzi. So I think that's a good play tonight. He'll be playing on a line with Max Domi and William Nylander. The top line for the Maple Leafs will be Nyes, Matthews, Marner. The third line will have Bobby McMahon on a third line with Pontus Holmberg and Nick Robertson, and then Noah Gregor, David Kampf, and Ryan Reeves. On the fourth line, it's Reeves, who we also have circled tonight with Radko Gudas in town.
Yeah, maybe your player to watch in terms of dropping the gloves. Radko Gudas, who was a Maple Leafs villain when he played for the Panthers there, screaming in Joseph Wall's face, and then telling the media that, no, I didn't really want to play here because there's lots of media attention in Toronto and bad taxes, so I'll go play in California instead of the Leafs or the Flames or the Oilers. So they had him on the big Hockey Night in Canada interview, and I think that tonight he makes an appearance somehow on that score sheet. It might be more in a penalty format.
Setting the table beautifully, Hockey Night in Canada is, with Ryan Reeves and Radko Gudas both in their respective lineups. On defense for the Maple Leafs tonight, no Morgan Rielly, no Mark Giordano. Morgan Rielly, of course, serving the third game of 5-game suspension that may or may not be upheld, as it was appealed through Gary Bettman. And Mark Giordano, unfortunately, will not be in the lineup with his father passed away this week. Unfortunate news out of Leafland. Our thoughts and condolences with the Giordano family. It leaves Brody and Liljegren on the top pair, Benoit and McCabe on the second. They've been playing well together. And Max Lajoie from the Marlies will play on a third pair with William Lagesson, Martin Jones back in net for the Maple Leafs tonight.
Yeah, interesting goaltender duo tonight. Martin Jones getting the net. Maple Leafs have a bit of a heavy schedule the next week. They've got a game Monday afternoon, then Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, all on the road. So Samsonov getting a little bit of load management tonight. Martin Jones getting the start. And on the other side, Lucas Dostal. And you might remember learning the name Lucas Dostal on January 3rd when the Leafs played in Anaheim, because he had 55 saves. It was an outstanding performance. The most saves by a goaltender this entire season so far. I remember watching thinking, this guy's going to be in the history books, and it's going to be one of those games where the Leafs just cannot score on a young kid. And he almost had it. They did end up winning that one, but 55 saves. He's getting the start again tonight against the Maple Leafs, so we'll see if that was a lucky bounce or something that he can continue.
Yeah, I've never been inside the mind of a goaltender, but I would imagine that familiarity and confidence against an opponent would persist over the space of, 6 weeks since that start was. That doesn't mean he's going to have a brilliant performance. That doesn't mean he's going to face 57 shots again. But when you play good against a team, I think it can have an effect on the next time out. So Lucas Dostal gets a second chance to frustrate the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Anaheim Ducks are an interesting team. They're choosing to take the real long road back to relevance. And Pat Verbeek, I mean, you can kind of say, hey, that's a great thing for a new general manager to do, because you get a long leash, you get a lot of opportunity to bring in a paycheck in California, like Radko Dudas. Nice. And you don't have to worry about, hey, we have to win right away or my job's on the line. So Pat Verbeek has taken a long approach with this team. They don't want to be real good yet, and they aren't very good. But they do have some names that you'll recognize. Adam Henrique on a top line with Leo Carlson and Ryan Strome. Frank Vetrano was at All-Star Weekend. Boy, he can shoot the puck, so don't let him get into space. He'll play on a second line with Mason McTavish and Troy Terry, who was an All-Star before as well. Alex Killorn won Stanley Cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning. He'll play on a third line with Isaac Lundstrom and Jakob Silverberg, who's been around for a while as well. And then Max Jones, Sam Carrick, and Ross Johnston are the fourth line for the Anaheim Ducks.
It's too bad that Trevor Zegras has a broken ankle, because he would have sold a couple seats. Like that guy, whether you're John Tortorella and you don't like him or not, it was Torts, right? It was him. Doesn't like the flashiness of some of the players, including Mr. Trevor Zegras, but he's out with an injury, so that would have been at least like another player to watch. Some of them might put on some sort of show tonight, but he should be out for the next little bit. I mean, a lot of these Anaheim Ducks names are in trade rumors, or in trade candidates.
Henrique could be one of the best players moved.
Yeah, he probably at this point would be. So, interest on that side of it for sure. And you mentioned, like, when we talked about Lucas Dostal, maybe like a bit of confidence instilled when you play against a team that you've already played well against. Well, other than the Kraken, who of course are an expansion team, the Leafs have only played them 6 times, the Maple Leafs' all-time record against the Ducks is their best against any franchise in the NHL. 32-15-5-2 with a .696 win percentage. So, I mean, you have not beat anybody more. You have not performed better against anybody more than the Anaheim Ducks. I don't know what that means for you, but it's a fun tidbit, and I'm sure producer Armin loved that I shoehorned in there.
That's interesting because, I mean, the Anaheim Ducks were really good for a long time when Ryan Getzlaf, Corey Perry were there, winning at least one Stanley Cup, and the Leafs used to really dread going on that California road trip. Like, they get 0 points out of the possible 6 not too long ago when they were going out there. But yeah, I guess prior to the good run that they had with Chris Pronger and the like, and most recently they've been getting wins against this Anaheim Ducks team. Just to wrap up the rosters on defense for the Anaheim Ducks tonight, Cam Fowler's been there forever. Gustav Lundstrom on the top pair. Urho Vakanainen and Radko Gudas on the second pair.
There he is,
and
Radko.
Pavel Mintyukov, who might get maybe outside chance a Calder nomination. And Ilya Lyubushkin, one more familiar name on that third pairing, of course. Lucas Dostal in goal for the Anaheim Ducks.
What did they call Lyubushkin again? Was it like the Russian bear? Yeah, I think it was, right?
The Russian bear, yeah.
Yeah.
Bear.
Well,
I thought you said mayor, and I'm like, I don't think he's running for office anytime soon.
Not the Russian mayor. the Russian bear. Oh, some familiar faces. Ilya Lyubushkin revenge goal tonight. That would pay out big time.
Yeah, we might have to check that one out. But we're sticking with our boy Tyler Bertuzzi tonight. It's time to turn some of those high danger looks into goals, my friend.
And there's only so long that, like, fate needs to allow Tyler Bertuzzi to score tonight. It's the night to do it, all right, Sudbury boy. Get one. I'm sure Bonesy would be fired up if he did. It's going to be a fun one here.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Just quickly to wrap up the Saturday night notes. No John Tavares tonight, day-to-day with undisclosed injury. No Mark Giordano. He's dealing with a personal matter. And Martin Jones is in net for the Maple Leafs with Ilya Samsonov taking a night off.
All right, we're also celebrating Black Excellence tonight at Scotiabank Arena. And it's going to be a great night on both ends of the ice here, and the crowd is roaring. We'll get you set.
It sounds like a PWHL game in here right now.
Almost. They learned from it last night. They had, 19,385, I think, was the full number of attendance last night. I wonder if they can get close to it here at Scotiabank Arena on Saturday night. On the other side of the break, we'll get you set for Puck Drop with Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph. They'll have the call of the first period after the break. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Let's go, football fans. This week on Let's Go with Tom Brady and Larry Fitzgerald and me, Jim Gray.
I'm happy for the Chiefs because they deserved it. It is so hard to get there and win. So I just give nothing but respect to the teams that do make it that far, and certainly the Chiefs that had a lot of things on their shoulders all season. Showed a lot of mental toughness, and you could see why they fought through it. It speaks to what that organization is doing right.
Listen now to the extended version of Let's Go, exclusively on the SiriusXM app, included with all our trials and popular plans. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Under review.
The National Hockey League, it's the #1 league in the world. It's a tough league. It's not shinny. I never wanted to become a league where the stars get an extra step or two. And there is a real divide with some people who go, the NHL doesn't do enough for its stars. No. What we like about hockey is it's a team game.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Sometimes a goalie's style fits certain teams better, and I think the way Adin Hill plays fits the Vegas Golden Knights, the way Bruce Cassidy wants to coach defensively perfectly. He's a monster of a guy. He works really hard. He doesn't give up bad goals. He is a grinder. He's a worker, and it just seems to fit.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Mr. Rick Tocchet, if you're taking a mix of coaches you had the best of, what is that mix for Rick Tocchet?
Scotty Bowman behind the bench, tactician. Mike Keenan, a lot of stuff that coaches do now, he did. Jim Schoenfeld, the father figure. Mike Sullivan. I still talk to guys like Craig Berube, Travis Green. So, there's a mixture, and then you got to find your own niche, right?
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app.
Hey Toronto, I'm David Morsuti, host of the daily Toronto Maple Leafs podcast, Locked On Leafs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network on the SiriusXM app. Every weekday, we bring you the latest Leafs news and analysis, break down all the action, including this game you're listening to right now, and preview the next one. We're giving you everything a Leafs fan could want, all in a daily 30-minute podcast. Download Locked On Leafs right now on the SiriusXM app, available with all trials and popular plans, or where you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Leafs.
If you're a soccer fan, you know that this music means one thing. The Champions League is on SiriusXM FC.
Hat-trick for Erling Haaland. Kane scores!
The top teams from around Europe are back.
Hey everybody, Mike from Toronto Sports Insider. Thank you all for getting us over the 7,000 subscriber mark. Let's keep it going. Let's have some fun tonight in the chat. Smash that like button down below. And hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on so you can hang out with us every single Leafs game or Toronto sports event. Thank you all for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys soon. Now let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go!
Champions League. Tune in to Sirius XM FC 157.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM
Radio Network.
The Leafs and the Anaheim Ducks collide as the Leafs try to extend a winning streak. And the masked man of the Mesh Mansions tonight, Lucas Dostal, who is 8-13-1 and a 3.60 goals against average, but he stood on his head in the previous meeting between these two teams, facing 55 shots, losing 2-1 in overtime. And it is brought to you by Superior Door and Gate Systems, Canada's top choice for automatic doors and security gates, security fencing and bollards, because security can only be measured but what it will save. Martin Jones getting the start in goal down to our right for the Maple Leafs as it's cleared down into that area back of the net, pumped around on the boards for Nyes on the near wing. He can't get it by a crowd that is gathered there, and the Leafs get it free, and Liljegren will carry it out at center. Can't find anyone breaking, and now just plays it off a leg down into Anaheim territory. Leafs are changing. Here's Matthews trying to fish a puck out from a scrum. It's backhanded around back of the goal into the far corner. Minchikov gets there now, and the Ducks then turn the puck over. Bertuzzi working down into the corner, got it back to the net for Nylander. A centering pass, and it was just tipped at the last second before Benoit was about to let it go. Near boards in the Leaf zone now. Benoit gets it out. Nylander couldn't come up with it. Puck along the boards, dug out by Domi, brought on by Nylander. He's in on the left wing, holds, pass into the slot, and the one-timer by Bertuzzi went just wide. That is a recording. It has happened far too often.
That seemed to go off the heel of his stick, too.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Like the Tiger Woods shank we might have seen on Thursday.
That brought back fond memories of my golf game.
But my shanks don't go that far.
No.
Hi, we're
No,
the
they
social
don't.
media growth.
Neither do
We are
mine.
number one global
Played ahead
social
now
media
by the Leafs out
marketing
at center. Ducks bank it in on the left wing, and a long shot is an easy save for Martin Jones. Jones did not dress in the last game, nursing a bit of a mild injury, obviously, as Dennis Hildeby was brought up from the Marlies. But it is his net tonight. Ilya Samsonov backing up. The Leafs are on a road trip starting Monday afternoon as the Ducks take it back into their own zone to organize. Brought to center with a pass. Oh, a good feed there for Sam Carrick, and he couldn't handle the puck. Carrick now centers. It's knocked away, but it's coming back to the point, and a shot, and that went just wide. Good hit in on the boards by Carrick. Around the wall, it's going to come to the line and just kept in. Back in along the boards far side, and Reeves steps into Carrick and knocks him down. Centering pass goes wide. Leafs fourth line out here being hemmed in. Along the boards, Camp trying to get to it. Brody takes his man wide. Here's Max Jones getting it into the corner. Jones for the Ducks, and it is pushed ahead, and Reeves is going to get to center ice and just bank it down into Anaheim territory. Ducks back to the net. 3 minutes into the books. No score. One shot on goal, and an easy save for Martin Jones it was. Gudas playing it in over the line. Well, he hasn't quite gotten to the "we hate you a lot" in the building that happened at the end of the series with Florida last year when he stared down Joseph Wall. He's handled the puck once and there was no booing. Here's Nyes working in on the left wing. Gudas took his man to the boards. Here's Nyes back in the net in front. They score! Hello! You'll never guess who!
Austin
Come on.
Matthews.
Yeah, you did it. You're really good.
Matthews, 3 goals last game, opens the scoring here tonight, and it's a great setup from Matthew Nyes, who swings it in behind the Anaheim net, looks out front, and Matthews somehow finds some open space among 4 Anaheim defenders, just inside the hash marks, onto the tape, into the back of the net.
46th of the year. He is on a 70-goal pace. And there is no one hotter right now than number 34. Played into the Anaheim zone. Ducks go back to recoup. Get it up on the wing for Troy Terry. And a long rink-wide pass comes to center. Terry gets it in with a shot, and that was kicked away by Jones. And a penalty coming.
And it's going to be a high stick. It might be Anaheim. Yeah, that's Frank Vetrano got his stick up on Max Domi as they were both trying to chase down the puck in the corner to the right of Martin Jones.
And the good news is it wasn't Jake McCabe. He's had just about enough of the high sticking.
For anyone that's familiar with soccer goaltender named Scott Sterling.
Yes.
That's what Jake McCabe.
Famous goaltender.
You can go on YouTube and find him. Scott Sterling. One of the most heroic.
Oh, superb netminder. Unbelievable reflex action. Leafs win the face-off, leading 1-0. A shot off the far wing, deflects up into the screen, out of play.
What about this? With John Tavares out, Tyler Bertuzzi has been inserted into the top unit. And you know where you want him, Joe? He's got 2 power play goals already. The first one he scored was in Dallas. Where was he? Right in front of the net, in front of the goaltender.
Leafs win the draw at the point. Liljegren, far side, Marner passing down for Bertuzzi. Backhand was stopped. Bertuzzi back to the point. Marner holds. Off to Matthews on the right wing boards. Down low for Bertuzzi. Back to Matthews. Into the slot area for Marner. Marner to Matthews from a sharp angle, a one-timer block. Bertuzzi got a whack at it. Matthews comes away with the loose puck. Back to Marner. Near side for Nylander. Nylander holds, still with it, saucers it back to Liljegren. Far side Matthews. Top of the circles, now into the corner. Still with it, now back to Marner. Marner circles back towards the blue line, dishes back. Far side now down low for Bertuzzi. It rolls in front of the goal and was knocked just wide. Leafs were able to come away with the loose puck. Back to the point to Marner. Marner walks the line, works to the top of the circle on the far side, now works back to the blue line, into the near corner for Nylander. Cross-ice pass deflected away there by Carrick, and it'll come out at center ice. Good possession, couple of good chances down in the paint.
Well, Anaheim was fortunate to be able to get the puck deep enough into the Leafs zone to get a line change in.
Last 6 games, the Leafs 7 of 13 on the power play. Domi hits the line. Fed into the corner for Nyes. Nyes got it freed up. Worked back for Robertson. Robertson down the left wing boards. Drops it back. Just kept in there by McMahon. McMahon looking for a loose puck in the corner. Comes back to the blue line. It'll be trapped there. Max Lajoie leaving it into the slot area. Shot scores! Okay, the second hottest guy on the Leafs has scored. It's a trivia question, Mr. Ralph.
Bobby McMahon.
Bingo!
And first power play goal of the year. And for the second time with John Tavares out of the lineup, Bobby McMahon finds the back of the net with the extra playing time. And this is a rocket from the left wing circle. The Leafs were able to keep it in. And it was fed out to the dot. Poor coverage by the Ducks as McMahon was able to look, line it up, and then snap it far side and over the left shoulder of Dostal and the Leafs. 2 goals on the first 5 shots for the early lead. And as you mentioned, it took them 57 shots to get 2 goals in Anaheim against this goaltender.
Centering Shot off the wing by Gregor was steered aside by Dostal. Now back of the net. The Leafs are in business again. Trying to play it in front of the net, and it just was knocked away from David Camp. Camp sends it to the goal. That's deflected wide of the net. Gregor runs into his man to knock it free, and the Ducks finally come away with it and play it up on the wing and out at center ice. Bobby McMahon with his 6th of the year, and as Jimmy mentioned, his first power play goal of the season. Benoit sending it back into Anaheim territory. Troy Terry playing it in on the far side. Leafs up 2-0 early here in the first period as the puck is back down into the Toronto zone. Around the wall, it'll come up on the near side and brought to center ice by Bertuzzi. Tried to drop it back for Nylander, but it came out over the line. The Leafs regroup in center ice. Near side for Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi works down into the corner. Knocked his man down with a good hit. Carries the puck back to the goal. Swings it back to the blue line to Liljegren. In on the far half boards for Domi. Back for Liljegren. Tipped out into the center ice area. And it's going to come back into the Toronto zone. The Leafs 2. And the Anaheim Ducks no score. Played back out at center. Nyes is able to break up the rush. Leafs bring it back. Max Lajoie sending it back in. 5th game for Lajoie. And he is in the lineup. Playing on the defense here and gets the puck back to the blue line, but it comes out over the line and out at center ice. And the reason being, and we really want to send our condolences and best wishes to the family of Mark Giordano. His dad, Paul, passing away suddenly on Thursday night, and was on the father's trip and everything else. And it was a tough time, a really tough time, and you know how much Paul put into Mark's career.
Yeah.
Going to all of those early morning skates and everything else.
Never anything you're prepared for.
Oh, boy, no. So to the Giordano family, our best wishes and our deepest sympathies. Kept in at the Toronto zone, and a long shot knocked down by Jones, and the Leafs clear the puck off a stick, so there's no icing. And it's going to come all the way back down into Anaheim territory. Lyubushkin gets it up on the right wing side. It's shot down into the Toronto end. Round on the far side. Leafs trying to dig it free. And pushed up on the wing, but it won't clear. Comes back to the far wing, looking back to the point now for Michikov. That was deflected just wide of the goal. And now Pontus Holmberg is bowled over there on a hit. Puck is in his skates. Get bowled over again. Now back at it, and he still has it and gets it up on the left wing. Brought out by McMahon. McMahon sends it into the zone. The Maple Leafs have had 3 consecutive games with a hat trick in each. But I might be the only one that remembers it. It was the 1917 season, and there's a shot that is stopped. Another shot deflects wide. For the life of me, I was so young at the time, I can't recall the 3 players who did it. But that is the case. And so with McMahon and Matthews having back-to-back hat tricks, who knows? And both of them are on the board here in the first period.
That's when the radio was in black and white?
Yes, it was. And you had to have a hamster running on a wheel in order to power it up. Thanks very much. Down in around back of the Anaheim goal. Puck turned over. Leafs have it now with Noah Gregor coming right to the net with a shot. Tried to go short side. It was stopped by Dostal. Back on the far side for Reeves. Back in behind the net now for Camp. Camp works into the near corner. Trying to shield his man. Sent it to the side of the net. Reeves could have turned and shot, but didn't. Now a shot banks to right in front of the net. Reeves! Oh, what a chance he had. Looking for his 3rd of the season. Brody with a long shot, but no traffic in front. Dostal is able to get a glove on it and stop play. 9.5 minutes to go, first period. A great start for the Maple Leafs, out shooting the Ducks 9-2 and outscoring them 2-0. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
This week, Billy Joel made his return to the Howard Stern Show.
Your music means so much to me.
Yeah, I like doing these things with you. You're good.
What is the song you said that the piano is like percussion? It's like Wipeout.
It is Wipeout. Well, I'm on the downeastern election.
This is the best.
Anthony works in the grocery store.
Listen to the full interview and watch video highlights now on the all-new SiriusXM app. Just search Billy Joel.
That was it.
Right.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
And we're with John Cooper, head coach of the Lightning.
Can you kind of talk about your relationship with your captain?
You know, whether I say it's a friendship or whatever we have, our bond is completely, it's really come and really evolved over the years. He's one of the greatest, well, he's our greatest ambassador, but I think he's one of the greatest ambassadors for the sport. You know, the kid's a class act, and it's been really a pleasure to watch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
The last 10 NHL drafts, 62 American kids have gone in the first round. So they're averaging over 6 kids per draft per first round. But I think the lowest you could rank America as a global hockey power now is 2, and it might be 1, and we might find that over the next couple of years. Take a bow, USA Hockey.
Point with Boomer Gordon, 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. Hey everybody, Mike from TSI. Join our awesome community today. You see all those awesome emojis in the chat? See everybody's names rolling down the bottom of the screen here? Get your name in that list. It's only 99 cents a month. 99 cents, you can't even get a coffee for 99 cents anymore, guys. Join today. Click the description of the video. You'll see the link to join in the description. Let's get back to the action. Go Leafs, go. Let's finish strong, boys.
Screen in front, but Jake McCabe makes it 3-0 on an innocent-looking play from the point.
You know, I thought originally Bertuzzi may have got a stick on it. The stick was coming up as McCabe threw it to the net. But judging by Bertuzzi's reaction, this is a bad one to give up if you're the Anaheim goaltender. Castell came in relief. John Gibson got hurt in the game against Ottawa, the win. And this is a nice shot off the post and in, but something that's stoppable. The Leafs now halfway through the opening period of more goals than they've given up shots. 3-0 Toronto.
10th shot on goal for the Maple Leafs.
I think Nylander's getting one here.
Is he? High stick. And now a fight has started.
Radko
Gudas. Oh, and down goes Domi heavily after the fact.
Well, this is one, I know some folks aren't going to like it, where I'm sure Ryan Reeves is going to have no trouble taking the number for this to happen in the first period. And this was a dangerous play as he threw Domi to the ice. And you can see, fortunately, Max Domi's head doesn't hit hard first. But I will say this, and especially in a blowout game, Joe, I don't think this is over. I think this is the start of some fireworks to come. But I think it was Nylander that was going to pick up the initial one. Max Domi just...
Toronto number 11 and Anaheim number 7. Each have 5 minutes for fighting.
And this was just... Domi finished his check on Gudas and the boards, and Gudas turned around and grabbed him and dropped the gloves. So Radko Gudas has now achieved superstar status in Anaheim, so you can't touch him.
I'll tell you...
Now it's funny. You gotta love the TV producers, too. You look up at the screen here in the booth, Ryan Reeves sitting on the Leaf bench. Frosted at the mouth just a bit, but we'll see. And see, this is where, when you talk about codes, if you're going to go after Max Domi, then you better saddle up with Ryan Reeves.
Yep. Down into the corner it goes. The one thing about Gudas, and you can say what you like, He's plus 16 on a team that looks like they're playing in the Masters with the plus minuses. Back to the point it goes to Fowler. Power play here for Anaheim. Down on the right side, Vetrano. Vetrano plays it around back of the net. Saucered off to the far side. Looking back to the point for Fowler. Doesn't come to him. Back of the net once more. Pass in front of the net. A one-timer scores. Vetrano off on the near circle. Got a one-timer away in a hurry and beats Martin Jones. And the Ducks are on the board with a power play goal. It's 3-1.
It's a great pass from the corner. As I believe it was Ryan Strome in the corner to the right of Jones. He's got to go through about 4 bodies to get the puck from the corner to the right into the face-off dot on the left. Martin Jones overplays it just a bit. This catches a lot of the net. Far side, inside the post. And on their third shot of the game, the Anaheim Ducks have scored. And the game is back to 3-1.
Team leading 10th goal on the power play for Vetrano, his 24th overall. And they lead, they get on the board with the Leafs leading 3-1 now. McMahon with a wraparound attempt that didn't work. McMahon gets it back to the point. Liljegren dishes it back for him. McMahon couldn't handle it, and it's punched out at center ice by Anaheim.
Anyway, for Frank Vetrano, that ties a career high that he had with Florida. 24 goals in the 18-19 season. So a lot of time left.
A lot of game left. Yep, absolutely.
Actually, he had the goal in Anaheim. The Leafs 2-1 win.
Ducks get it down into the Toronto zone. Played up on the near wing. Just chipped out at center ice by Toronto's McMahon. He'll go to the bench. Changes coming for the Maple Leafs as the Ducks are back in their own zone. Chipped away there by Matthews. Almost stolen again on a deflection, and then pushed back of the net by Marner. Good play in front with a shot. Oh, big save made there. Off the stick of Denies, who broke his stick in the effort. Back of the net now for Marner, and now to Matthews. Matthews working into the corner. Matthews trying to work back, centers it in front, and it's going to be knocked away and stolen back almost by Matthews as it's cleared finally by Anaheim down into the Toronto zone.
Well, William Lagesson has gone to the Leaf dressing room. Not sure if it's injury or equipment related.
Brought to center ice by Camp. Dished off on the wing for Reeves. Played into the corner, but no one there. And out come the Ducks now to get it out at center ice. Camp turns the puck over and gets it back. Camp tried to make a behind-the-back pass. Didn't work. Gregor is able to play it in a little deeper. And it's going to be poke free. And now the Ducks are going to be able to skate it up on the wing and get it out at center ice at least. Lajoie, who picks up an assist on the McMahon goal, into the lineup and played out and down the ice. Of course, Morgan Riley still out of the lineup because of the suspension that was challenged, but no response yet on whether the appeal is going to amount to anything. Matthews goes back into the Leaf zone for a loose puck. Taking a run at him was Lyubushkin. The puck along the boards in the near corner. Pinching down is Sam Carrick. Markham native played it around back of the net. Nylander got tangled up with his man, and a point shot goes off a leg. And the Leafs are going to play it off the boards and get it out at center ice. Ducks trying to bring it back in with Fowler. Windsor native unable to find it. Now Nylander in across the line trying to find McMahon. Gets it back again. McMahon trying to keep the puck in, but the Ducks are going to get to it on the far side, and Lundstrom gets it out at center ice. Lots of people over the boards there, and no too many men on the ice. And there are a lot of mathematicians in the stands.
I'm not one of them. I got to 3.
Played around the boards to the near side.
I shouldn't have started with the goalie, right?
No, you shouldn't have. No. Is your head still sore? Are you going to be okay? I always get that. Leafs play it around the boards. Get it out at center and into the zone. Robertson sends it in a little deeper. It'll be brought out on the right wing. And the Ducks will get to center ice and slip it down into Toronto territory. Left wing feed brings Gregor to the wing. Here's Reeves in across the line, taken to the boards by Labushkin. Reeves gets it back into the near corner, trying to pin it there with his skate. Got some assistance. A centering pass! Oh, and a one-timer by Noah Gregor. Went high and over the net and off the glass down into Toronto territory.
Gregor trying to end a 23-game drought.
Puck back in the Anaheim zone with 4:07 to play in the first, and Toronto up 3-1. Ducks back in their own zone. Brought out at center by Troy Terry. In on the right wing. Terry rolls it towards the net. It's deflected back of the goal. And now here's Brody trying to get away from one man and another. Got it up on the left wing. And Nyes will feed it ahead. And now Lajoie backhands deep into Anaheim territory. Goaltender gives up a big rebound. And now Matthews has his stick slashed out of his hand. And so the Leafs are going to go to the power play again as the Ducks will be penalized. 3:35 to go first period. The Leafs leading 3-1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Unhibernate. Verb. To laugh in the face of snow because you drive a Subaru. As in, when I unhibernate, I have the roads all to myself because my Subaru has symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and others don't. Or, the award-winning safety in my Subaru means I can unhibernate all winter while my neighbors stare longingly from their bedroom windows. Or my favorite usage, I am going to unhibernate this winter by visiting my local Subaru dealer today. Welcome to Uncommon Winter Confidence.
Move up to Heathwood. Hi, I'm Hugh Herron. Experience true luxury at Williamsburg Green in Kitchener. Heathwood's all-brick homes are built with upgraded features and elevated finishes. Chef-inspired kitchens, spa-like en-suites, and a fully finished lower level. Even better, Williamsburg Green has parks, playgrounds, and trails to explore. It's time to move up to Heathwood. Learn more at heathwood.com.
Truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think 2-minute truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2-minute-truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks. So give us a call today.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
You know that it's game
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Matthews and Marner have been a real combination for the Maple Leafs since they joined together. 211 times they've combined on goals. That is the club record, as McDonald and Sittler were at 209. Add another one tonight, so that's 212. I hate when all this mathematics means you got to keep counting, but that's where it is, and they're out on the power play now after a slashing penalty is assessed to number 28, Gustav Lindstrom. The Leafs back in their own zone, brought on by Marner. Left wing feed, Matthews slipped in on the left wing boards for Bertuzzi. He goes to the boards, and Matthews is able to come away with the loose puck to get it back to the blue line to Liljegren. He walks the line. Far side, Matthews once more. Challenged. Back it goes to Liljegren. A shot. Oh, and I don't know if Dostal even saw that, but it hit him. Matthews with it again. Near side, Nylander, a shot right on. That stopped. Big rebound in front. And Liljegren settles it down to Matthews. Into the slot. Marner, a one-touch pass, and a shot is swallowed up by Dostal.
Whoa,
Okay,
Dostal.
that was pretty. That was pretty.
Well, it was.
Marner, just a little redirect.
I'll tell you something, Dostal looked like he was cheating for the backdoor tap-in by Bertuzzi, who was to his left and was almost turning to his left when Nylander just threw it along the ice, the middle of the net. But the Anaheim goaltender was able to get the pads jammed together and turn and keep the puck out.
The draw controlled by the Ducks, but it's going to be Bertuzzi on the far side trying to get to it. Lundstrom can't get it out. Matthews near side into the half boards for Nylander. Swings it back to the blue line to Liljegren. One time over on the far side for Matthews. Back it comes to Liljegren again from Nylander. Back to Nylander. Closing with a shot. He scores! They've got it on a string tonight, don't they? Willie Nylander snaps it home. Number 28 on the season. 4-1 Toronto.
And as sharp as the Leafs have been, I mean, this has been a tough period for the Anaheim goaltender. A lot of these are shots. Not all of them are from 15 feet. I mean, we're looking at 30 to 40 feet on some. McCabe's goal, the third one. Now Nylander here. As he lets it rip. Even Bobby McMahon. It was a great shot. But when it comes to the circle above the dots, that's where you like the goaltender to have it. Ilya Lyubushkin provided a bit of a screen in front of his own goaltender, but 4-1 Toronto, 2:15 to go here in the first.
With that goal, William Nylander, a goal and an assist tonight, and 500 career points for the Maple Leafs. Centering pass down in the Leaf zone has gone astray back into Anaheim territory. Fowler back in his own zone. Lindstrom trying to get it out. Took a hit there from Noah Gregor. Played down into the Leaf zone. McCabe sends it back up on the wing. It's going to come back into the Leaf end, and Benoit will regroup it now with McCabe. Jake McCabe up ahead for Pontus Holmberg. He turns, finds a man on the left wing side, and it's Benoit. He'll flip it on a bounce in on goal, and it's into the glove of Dostal, and he's going to stop play and bring a face-off in the Anaheim zone. Liljegren and Matthews assisting on the goal. The Leafs 4, the Ducks 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan on the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
When the sports world is talking, nobody gives you more perspectives than the experts of Sirius XM.
Another Super Bowl for Patrick Mahomes.
Hear instant reaction on Mad Dog Sports Radio.
Mahomes willed his team. What we're watching here is once-in-a-lifetime stuff.
And expert analysis on NFL radio.
This is a dynasty team.
Live sports talk when you need it is on Sirius XM in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
I'm with John Cooper, head coach of the Lightning.
Can you kind of talk about your relationship with your captain?
You know, whether I say it's a friendship or whatever we have, our bond is completely, it's really come and really evolved over the years. He's one of the greatest, well, he's our greatest ambassador, but I think he's one of the greatest ambassadors for the sport. You know, the kid's a class act, and it's been really a pleasure to watch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
The last 10 NHL drafts, 62 American kids have gone in the first round. So they're averaging over 6 kids per draft per first round. But I think the lowest you could rank America as a global hockey power now is 2, and it might be 1, and we might find that over the next couple of years. Take a bow, USA Hockey.
Point with Boomer Gordon, 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Hi, this is Ray Hudson, and for all the biggest matches from club soccer's holy grail, the UEFA Champions League, tune in to Sirius XM FC 157.
The Leafs Radio Network.
The Leafs leading 4-1 here in the first.
Great news today seeing Sensi Maharaj, longtime goaltending coach for the Anaheim Ducks, who has been in a battle with cancer for the last year, and to see him at practice and to see him up here in the press box tonight. He's still living in Oakville and going through his treatment here, and things look to be in the right direction, but it's been a long battle and still some time to go, but so great.
What a great,
just to see him here.
Yep. He's had some pretty good proteges. Played off the boards for the Leafs in front of the net. Now for Domi! Oh, and he went for the 5-hole, and Dostal was able to shut it down. Played back down into the Leaf zone. Down.
Sound like a Southern baseball announcer. 2 down here on third.
I'd like to say my dentures got in the way there, but I don't have it.
Let me ask you this.
What's that?
Is this what happened? You switched words
Right
halfway
in
through.
mid-sentence, yes. And you know my mind doesn't work as quickly as yours, so yes.
That's the equivalent of too many men on the ice.
Yes, it is.
Trying to get too much. Yeah. By the way, that we talked about 2 games ago. We were talking about. You said about the Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
When did they end that?
A centering pass, and that went just wide of the lead goal.
We'll give you the timing of that in a moment and the significance of it.
All right, 45 seconds left in the period. Hopefully we'll get to that really important piece of information before the first period is over. Here's McMahon. Back in over the line for Robertson. A weak shot went wide, but a juicy rebound in front. And unable to backhand it then was Pontus Holmberg. And now there's going to be a penalty here to Anaheim. Back to the blue line for McCabe. 22 seconds left in the period. Matthews to McCabe. Back to Matthews. Matthews holds. Cross ice. A centering pass. That was just off a side of the net. Went wide. And with 10.2 seconds to go in the period, there will be another power play for the Maple Leafs, who have already scored twice with the man advantage.
16 has a 2-minute minor for hooking.
And Hook's going to be the call. It's probably the marginal side, especially when you consider the score. Well, I guess not when you see. I mean, Strome let go of his stick. And I think Pontus Holmberg did the little, I feel it, I'm going to clamp down on it. Strome trying to let go of the stick. But sometimes that just serves as evidence.
1949, the time of the penalty to the Mississauga native. And the final seconds are going to tick down here and send the Maple Leafs to the power play for 1:40 some odd seconds in the second period. Okay.
All right, the Anaheim Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
The last year they were the Mighty Ducks was the 05-06 season. They dropped the Mighty and became the Anaheim Ducks the following year, in which they won the Stanley Cup. So my suggestion.
Oh, no.
How do the Toronto Leafs sound?
Or you know what? Maybe just the Toronto Maples.
Yeah, we can work with it.
Yeah.
Detroit Wings. Some of
Who
the other.
cares about them? They've won Stanley Cups.
The Jose Sharks.
Yeah, I like them. All right, well, Matthews, McMahon, McCabe, and Nylander, the goal scorers for the Leafs. 4-1 after a period here from Scotiabank Arena. And Eilish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert coming along. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
This is Ricky Sinhouse Jr.
It's Austin Cindric, Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, Denny Hamlin.
This is Austin Dillon. The Daytona 500 is coming.
It's NASCAR's biggest race. When you think of races you want to win, Daytona is #1 on every driver's list.
It can define a career.
For the rest of my life, I'll be known as the Daytona 500 champion. The Daytona 500.
Tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern.
On SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90.
And the all-new SiriusXM app.
There's no race like the Daytona 500. It truly is the great American race.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
And we're with John Cooper, head coach of the Lightning. Can you kind of talk about your relationship with your captain?
You know, whether I say it's a friendship or whatever we have, our bond is completely, it's really come and really evolved over the years. He's one of the greatest, well, he's our greatest ambassador, but I think he's one of the greatest ambassadors for the sport. You know, the kid's a class act, and it's been really a pleasure to watch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
The last 10 NHL drafts, 62 American kids have gone in the first round. So they're averaging over 6 kids per draft per first round. But I think the lowest you could rank America as a global hockey power now is 2, and it might be 1, and we might find that over the next couple of years. Take a bow, USA Hockey.
Point with Boomer Gordon, 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
If you're a soccer fan, you know that this music means one thing. The Champions League is on SiriusXM FC.
Hat-trick for Erling Haaland. Kane scores!
The top teams from around Europe are battling for club soccer's holy grail.
Real Madrid do what they do best. What a start for Inter!
Hear all the top Champions League matches all tournament long on SiriusXM FC 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Under review
the National Hockey League. It's the #1 league in the world. It's a tough league. It's not shinny. I never wanted to become a league where the stars get an extra step or two. And there is a real divide with some people who go, the NHL doesn't do enough for its stars. No, what we like about hockey is it's a team game.
Under Review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Sometimes a goalie's style fits certain teams better, and I think the way Adin Hill plays fits the Vegas Golden Knights, the way Bruce Cassidy wants to coach defensively perfectly. He's a monster of a guy. He works really hard. He doesn't give up bad goals. He is a grinder. He's a worker, and it just seems to fit.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Mr. Rick Tocchet, if you're taking a mix of coaches you had the best of, what is that mix for Rick Tocchet?
Scotty Bowman behind the bench, tactician. Mike Keenan, a lot of stuff that coaches do now, he did. Jim Schoenfeld, the father figure. And Mike Sullivan. I still talk to guys like Craig Berube, Travis Green. So, there's a mixture, and then you got to find your own niche, right?
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Hi, this is Ray Hudson, and for all the biggest matches from club soccer's holy grail, the UEFA Champions League, tune in to Sirius XM FC 157.
In the Leafs Radio Network.
Here's Nye back in the net in front, they score! Hello! You'll never guess who! Max Lajoie leaving it into the slot area, shot scores! George! Jake McCabe makes it 3-0 on an innocent-looking play from the point. They're back to Nylander, closing with a shot. He scores!
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Leafs lead 4-1 after an exciting first period against the Anaheim Ducks here at Scotiabank Arena Hockey Night in Canada, and that was well worth the $1 to watch that 20 minutes.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be a fun night at Scotiabank Arena. It's not a fair fight early on. 18-3 the shots, 4-1 the goals. The Maple Leafs were far and away the better team in the period, and it was a case of carrying over from last time out in a lot of ways. Like, I think the best we've seen the Leafs all year was when they were chasing a lead in Anaheim back a couple months or a couple weeks ago, and they finally got to Lucas Dostal. It just seems like they've carried over that momentum, and they're just overwhelming the Ducks. A great start to the game. This should be cruise control, but they should keep the pedal to the metal and keep this going.
Don't jinx it. You never know with those Maple Leafs. Let's start from the beginning of the period. Matthews with another goal, MVP chance, ringing out in one section.
That's my one sore spot of the entire
the
period.
Chance?
No. If there's going to be some smattering even of MVP chance, it's the arena's responsibility to carry those through. It should have lasted more than 10 seconds,
I didn't hear you cheering.
I'm in the press box, Ailish.
That's right. Get on the mic, though. All right, so Matthews gets another one. We talked about it. He was at a 70.98 goals pace. I believe that's probably very much similar after that first period. But
might be a nick over 71 now.
It might be. See, there's the optimist. Now we're at 71. But since December 2nd, in 31 games, he's got 32 goals. And, I mean, it's just, I don't really know what else to say about Austin Matthews. It's inevitable. It just continues to put the puck in the net. It's awesome to watch. He gets the team going. Like, they didn't need the spark, but there you go. First 5 minutes into the game, you get the spark. The rest of the period goes extremely well for the Maple Leafs, and he leads the way.
Yeah, he gets the puck in a scoring area. It hits the back of the net. It is rinse and it is repeat. Austin Matthews is on one right now. He is definitely on a heater, and if you get, I think he taught old Leo Carlson, or young Leo Carlson, a little bit of a lesson in the offensive zone. You can't give him any space if you're expecting to stop him from scoring a goal. The rookie gave him some space, and Matthews punished him.
So Matthews up first. That power play was looking awesome. At least had a couple penalties in that game, first period. But the power play was looking great. They are trying so incredibly hard to get Tyler Bertuzzi involved, at least on the power play perspective. He's right there in the crease, getting a couple chances. Yet to score, folks, but he was our Bet365 player to watch, and I still believe in the guy. He's got 40 more minutes. It's going to go off his knee or something, but he's going to have to get a goal today. But Bobby McMatthews, as we've so crowned him, gets the next one for the Maple Leafs. Him and Matthews obviously had the back-to-back hat tricks. They had the funny Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. One gets the belt, one passes the belt to him the next day. Okay, well then Austin Matthews opens the scoring, and who scores next? Bobby McMatthews. Bobby McMahon looked great. Beautiful shot. Like, just a snipe. He looked great.
Yeah, unbelievable. One of the nicest ones we've seen from our vantage point in the press box all year long. It was a hilarious contrast, I thought, between power plays. Like, the first unit was absolutely dialed. Liljegren looked great in the quarterback position. Tyler Bertuzzi was causing havoc in front, and they were moving the puck around beautifully, but they couldn't get one past Dostal. Then the second power play unit comes out, and it's kind of, it's a bit ragtag. Let's be honest. Bobby McMatthews on the ice for a power play. That's probably we didn't have that in the cards at the start of the year, but they're like kind of stumbling through it, and all of a sudden the puck finds Bobby McMahon, and he just wires one of the shots of the year into the top corner. So it doesn't have to look pretty in the lead up if it looks pretty going to the back of the net.
McCabe gets one, and then Willie gets one, his 500th career point. All around, he's been a wonderful story to follow. He gets that 500th today in terms of points, up there with Matthews and Marner, who have already done so, and as deservingly as it comes. He another power play goal. They got a couple of those this period, but he was looking great. I mean, the Leafs had a great period. 4-1, they're out shooting the Ducks. I don't know what else you can really ask for. It's just to now maintain that for the rest of the periods.
Yeah, it took 57 shots to score 2 goals on Dostal back on January 3rd. It took 5 tonight. They got 4 in the period. We were wondering in the press box if Dostal was going to come out for the second, whether or not we'd see John Gibson. I guess the only saving grace is that Frank Vetrano did score a goal to keep it within some level of striking distance in the period. Vetrano's goal, really the only blemish, and Martin Jones with only 2 saves in the period. Not a great period, I guess, for Martin Jones, but the Leafs were brilliant in that opening frame.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We did predict a fight, and we did get one. We only got 50% of the participants right. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Every year, fans debate over the draft. Who's going first? At Chuck's, they already know. The top draft choice is that icy cold 18-ounce Molson Canadian you're holding, and it's just $4 at Chuck's during Leafs games. No wonder that at draft time, Canadians are always in high demand. Chuck's Roadhouse Bar and Grill. Food the way it ought to be. Price the way it used to be.
Today, when it comes to following sports, a basic box score just won't cut it. Get the stats behind the stats with NHL Edge. So you won't just see Makar's time on ice. You'll see where he spent it. You won't just know Matthews scored. You'll know how hard he shot it. And you won't just get OV's shot total. You'll know where he shot it from. Even if they're all from the same place. Know more about every stat, every shift, and every star with NHL Edge.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we've introduced Same Game Parlay Plus. It's a game changer. Making a same game parlay across different games has never been easier because the biggest games and most popular markets are now all in one place. Check out Same Game Parlay Plus and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Take 2 in a truck, 2 in a truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think 2 in a truck, 2 in a truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2 men in a truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
There are many peculiar words in the English language. Words like solivigant, peregrinate, nemophilus, peripatetic, and conviviality. Yet, there is no word for getting the most out of winter in your Subaru, thanks to symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and X-Mode. Until now. We call it unhibernate. As in, while your neighbors stay home, you'll be unhibernating all winter in your Subaru. So peregrinate to your local Subaru dealer today, and welcome to uncommon winter confidence.
Move up
to Heathwood. Hi, I'm Hugh Heron. Experience true luxury at Williamsburg Green in Kitchener. Heathwood's all-brick single-family homes come with a long list of features you've always dreamed of. Gourmet kitchens, freestanding tubs, and even fully finished lower levels. Dare to compare and you'll see why it's time to move up to Heathwood. Learn more at heathwood.com.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey, Sportsnet 590 The Fan, the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Leafs lead 4-1 after 20 minutes, and there was a fight, and it was Radko Gudas, but it was not Ryan Reeves. It was Max Domi dropping the gloves for a quick little tumble with Radko Gudas. I was surprised because I had anticipated this big heavyweight bout. We're just watching UFC 298 as well, so I'm getting in the zone. But yeah it was Max Domi.
I guess there was two things I didn't like in the period because, I mean, I get Max Domi wants Saturday night. It's Domi. It's got Radko Gudas, who offended all of Leafs Nation, so he steps in. But Ryan Reeves has been the guy talking about it. He's in the weight class. If you want a proper fight instead of a tumble, it was a tumble.
He fell.
Let Ryan Reeves do it. Ryan Reeves in the lineup. I get it, but I would like to see Max Domi, Tyler Bertuzzi, and William Nylander put together some good 5-on-5 shifts instead of him spending 5 minutes in the penalty box.
There you go. Still lots of time. Maybe another one happens. Let's take a look at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Visit the app for the latest odds. Find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly.
Busy afternoon. 7 finals already in the NHL. The LA Kings beat the Boston Bruins in overtime 5-4. The Blackhawks got a 3-2 victory over the Ottawa Senators. Oilers beating the Stars 4-3 in overtime. The Red Wings shut out the Flames 5-0. The Predators beat the Blues 5-2. And in overtime, the Sabres beat the Wild in overtime also.
How are the Panthers?
Earlier today, the Panthers got a 9-2 victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning. They've leapfrogged the Boston Bruins for first place in the Atlantic Division. So maybe it isn't Florida in Toronto in the first round if we get there. Capitals leading the Canadiens 2-1, end of one. It's 4-1, of course. The Maple Leafs leading the Ducks, and still to come tonight, Devils and Flyers, Canucks and Jets, Golden Knights and Hurricanes. A lot of good games. And then, the Sharks host the Blue Jackets.
One quick tidbit, courtesy of Sportsnet Stats. William Nylander, fourth fastest player in Maple Leafs history to reach 500 career points. And his father, Michael Nylander, also collected his 500th career point in Toronto as a member of the Rangers. So lots of cool things happening tonight and historically in the Nylander family.
And 3 of the 4 fastest to 500 points in Maple Leafs history play on this team right now.
That's it. Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander. The only one not in that is Daryl Sittler, legend. All right, Joe Bone and Jim Ralph will have the call of the second period next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The wait is almost over. Leo Messi kicks off the 2024 MLS season Wednesday night on Sirius XM FC.
This is a monumental moment.
In his first full season in the U.S., Messi reunites with old friend Luis Suarez.
Messi, top of the box, back to the middle, slam!
But Real Salt Lake want to spoil the party in South Beach.
Diego Luna into the vault and shoots, go!
Inter Miami, Real Salt Lake, Wednesday night at 8 Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
And we're with John Cooper, head coach of the Lightning. Can you kind of talk about your relationship with your captain?
You know, whether I say it's a friendship or whatever we have, our bond is it's really come and really evolved over the years. He's one of the greatest, he's our greatest ambassador, but I think he's one of the greatest ambassadors for the sport. You know, the kid's a class act, and it's been really a pleasure to watch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
The last 10 NHL drafts, 62 American kids have gone in the first round. So they're averaging over 6 kids per draft per first round. But I think the lowest you could rank America as a global hockey power now is 2, and it might be 1, and we might find that over the next couple of years. Take a bow, USA Hockey.
Point with Boomer Gordon, 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app.
If you're a soccer fan, you know that this music means one thing. The Champions League is on Sirius XM FC.
Hat-trick for Erling Haaland. Kane scores!
The top teams from around Europe are battling for club soccer's holy grail.
Real Madrid 2, what's Iniesta. What a start for Inter.
Hear all the top Champions League matches all tournament long on Sirius XM FC 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen. Walks in. Put it between his legs. Shoots it. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM
Radio Network.
It is good.
Wait a second.
We are back. Maple Leafs with a 4-1 lead, and the first period was presented by Bet365. Visit the app for the latest odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. John Gibson has taken over in goal for the Ducks to start the second period. The goal scorers, Austin Matthews with his 46th. Bobby McMahon with his 6th and 4th in 2 games. As the puck is dropped, McCabe and Nylander, the other goal scorers for Toronto. And Vetrano on the power play for the Ducks as a shot from a sharp angle was stopped by Jones. And as the puck trickled into the goal crease area, he was able to cover up on it and hold for a face-off.
As we mentioned, Dostal came in for Gibson in Ottawa a couple of nights ago. Due to an injury, they said it was precautionary that Gibson did not start the game tonight. But obviously not bad enough to keep him from dressing, or not bad enough to keep him out of the game here in the second period.
Leafs are on the power play with the puck down in their own zone. And it's carried out to the blue line and dropped off to Nylander, who sends it deeper now for Matthews, who finds Marner. Marner to the red line. Fires it around the boards to the far side, and down goes Bertuzzi to punch it around back of the net to the near wing, and now Nylander at the half boards. Back of the net for Nylander to the side, comes back in the slot for Liljegren. Over on the far side now for Matthews to Nylander to Matthews, and a shot by Matthews, scores! It is amazing. His shooting percentage from 30-plus feet is better than 12%. The next highest is Kucherov at 11.2. But that one-timer is lethal.
Now, if you want to be critical, you could say he should have passed it. Because everything he launches is going, and this is almost identical to his third goal against Philadelphia. The one-timer, short side, right wing circle, over the pad, under the glove. And you got to feel for John Gibson, don't you? We want you to go in, and oh yeah, fresh ice, and Austin Matthews in a Leaf power play.
3 for 3 with the man advantage. 10 for 16 in their last 7 games. Here's Reeves playing it around back of the net. Now Camp comes out of the corner. Camp working back towards the blue line. Send it towards the net. But it went off a skate, and now the Ducks will bring it to center and shoot it into the Leaf zone. 47 on the season for Austin Matthews. Laid in on the left wing and chipped back. A centering pass by Noah Gregor. No one home. Leafs were in the midst of a changing. And it is fired down into the Toronto end and around on the far side. Jones had to hustle back into the net. It comes back to the point to Cam Fowler. He'll play it back of the goal. Slowed up by the Leafs. Got it to the line, but not out. A long shot is deflected high and wide into the far corner. Now around back of the net. That draws a crowd. Punched ahead. The Leafs are going to be able to drag it out at center, and Pontus Holmberg breaks. Up on the right wing for Robertson. Tried to return the favor, but it was knocked away by the Ducks and played around the boards and out at center ice. Austin Matthews from Liljegren. Check that from Marner and Nylander on the power play. A hit. Takes down, is that a high stick maybe? Is that Domi? Yeah, it's Max Domi who got clipped, and the Ducks are going to be a man short again.
Anaheim 49, minor penalty, high stick.
All right, so the goaltenders have had a tough night, but Max Jones on Max Domi. I mean, misses Domi's stick completely. Tries to come up and lift it, but isn't even close to it. and catches Domi. So Max has had kind of a tough night, hasn't he?
Yeah. Fourth power play opportunity for the Maple Leafs, and they have the puck again. Centering pass comes in front of the net. Bertuzzi hit the goal post. Oh my, what a chance! Matthews over on the far side gets a return pass. Looks for pass down low. Gets it back from Bertuzzi. Still with it. Matthews holds. Still a centering pass. Scores! He's done it! Finally, Tyler Bertuzzi finds the back of the net.
I think he just asked Austin Matthews which way is the bench for the high fives. And as impressive as Matthews has been, Joe, setting up Tyler Bertuzzi to get him out of this slump might be right up there with the goal scoring. As Matthews,
it wasn't too obvious, was it?
But you had Matthews backing away, backing towards the corner to the left of Gibson. He had Bertuzzi in front, partially covered by Ilya Lyubushkin. But Bertuzzi, strong on his stick, took the pass from the top of the crease, and a big smile, more relief than anything else from Tyler Bertuzzi, as the Leafs are in the midst of a romp here, 6-1 Toronto, early in the second.
Needless to say, it was a toothless grin. But Tyler Bertuzzi ends a horrific drought, the second longest of his career, 19 games. Leafs have the puck in the offensive zone again. Pass to the side of the goal is dug out, and the Ducks are going to get it out at center ice.
I think the big storyline from now to the end of the game might be Ryan Reeves and Radko Gudas.
All right.
With this game the way it is.
Played down into the Duck zone. Off the boards it comes to center and down into the Toronto end. And Brody rubbed out there by Terry, and the puck comes to center ice, bouncing as it did, and then Reeves bowls over his man, but it wasn't Gudas, it was Minchikov, and down into the Toronto zone it's sent. I think a lot of the fans in the stands seem to be agreeing with you, Mr. Ralph, keeping a sharp eye on this. Back to the point, kept in and knocked out at center ice off the stick of Terry. It's going to go all the way down into the Duck zone. Minchikov starting out. They go from right to left on your radio dial. Pass partially knocked away by McMahon. Played out at center ice by the Maple Leafs. 6-1, Toronto with the lead. A long bouncing shot in on Jones. Haven't heard that echoed a lot by Mike Ross as a pass goes off a skate and up into the screen and out of play.
I'm going to give the Leafs credit. I mean, still lots of time left, but the streak since the All-Star break, or even just before the All-Star break, win back-to-back games against Winnipeg, one of the top teams in the West at the time. Come back, lose to the Islanders, who are out of the playoffs. Beat Dallas, who are in the playoffs. Lose to Ottawa, who's out of the playoffs. Beat St. Louis, who's in the playoffs. And then beat Philly, who's in a playoff spot. Ducks still in the middle of a, well, maybe not the middle, maybe more in the beginning of a rebuild.
Shot goes wide of the Leaf goal. Punch to the far wing, and now Liljegren trying to work it up the boards was taken down. Down into the corner, Adam Henrique coming out with it. Back to the point it comes. Vakanainen with a shot. That was deflected wide of the Leaf net. It's around back of the goal. Back to the point once more. Vakanainen with a shot and another save made by Jones as it goes into the far corner. Good pressure here from Ottawa, but an errant pass is brought out now, and Pontus Holmberg is just going to lay it down into the zone. No icing, though. The linesman baiting the game go on. Played back out at center ice, and now Matthews is there. Up on the left wing. Brought down in by Nyes. Nyes slips it around back of the net. Gregor tried to make a behind-the-back pass out in front that was blocked. Cleared up on the wing. Pinching down is Benoit. Sent around back of the net. Nyes couldn't track it down. McCabe gets it back to the point. Pass in front. McCabe stopped. Here's another chance for the Leafs. Nyes with a chance. They score. Matthews again.
And now just everything going Austin Matthews' way. Nyes throws it to the front of the net. Off his skate, off his stick. Over to Matthews, who just chips it in. Glove side on John Gibson. Hey, but a minus for Radko Gudas. Maybe Nyes should have been in front of the Anaheim goaltenders screaming at him. But it was Gudas that was unable to tie up Matthew Nyes, who got it to the net. And Austin Matthews began the season with back-to-back hat-tricks, has done it again. And by the way, the Leafs, this is the third time this year, Joe, they've scored 3 goals in one game, or power play goals in one game. Most recently happened in their game not long ago against the Dallas Stars. What about this? If I read that right? Florida over Tampa 9-2. Wow. So the Leafs, Red Wings won this afternoon in Calgary as well, but the Leafs with a win.
Apparently there were a lot of octopi thrown on the ice in that game.
There would be a jump for the Leafs back into third if they're able to hold on here with a 7-1 lead, and you do feel for Greg Cronin and the Anaheim players. And as we talked to Brian Hayward, former goaltender who does color for the Anaheim Ducks broadcast, we can feel your pain. You and I have certainly been through that. Was it a 10-year stretch without the playoffs and 12 out of 13?
Absolutely. So, Reg Noble, Harry Meeting, and Harry Cameron back in the 1917-18 season have got companies now because the Leafs have had back-to-back hat tricks. First McMahon, and now twice in a row by Austin Matthews, who has goal number 48 now in the books.
Imagine if he gets 50 tonight. I mean, there's
hey,
I wouldn't bet against it.
14 minutes left in the second period. Ducks keep the puck in on the right wing side with a shot. Pad save made by Jones. Played into the corner. Nyes. McCabe and Nyes drawing the assist. Now Lajoie ties up his man, and it is pushed out into the center ice area, and Cam Fowler has to go back.
Fourth time the Leafs have hit the 7-goal mark this year.
Down into the Toronto zone, and Domi swings it around to the near side. MVP echoing through the building.
I would rather Conn Smythe be the chance. I think he'd take.
Well, there's time enough for that, hopefully. Reeves ties up his man on the far side. Gudas is number 7, but he isn't out there. And now Reeves bowls over Lyubushkin. The puck still in their skates. Reeves digs it free, tried to get it in front, but didn't get enough on it. Fowler has played it to the line, and it'll get out at center ice. Here are the Ducks in over the line. Carlson in with a pass on the wing, a pad save. Oh, and a big defensive stand there made by Liljegren, as goaltender Jones had that right side pretty much wide open, but a good save made. And there's Gudas trying to go low on Reeves. Hey, your dad's card is there if you'd like to have it. Now the linesmen are in there. Oh, yeah, here we go. That's still going on.
You know what? That'll get around the league. Right there. Fans are booing. You'll go after Max Domi, but decline the invitation from Ryan Reeves.
Well, let's hope there's more invitations still in the box. Back to the point, Gudas.
You know, shame on the linesman for jumping in.
Vakenaiman with a shot. That went wide of the goal. It comes back on the near side. Centering pass to the far wing. Didn't reach Carlson. Carlson tries to center, and it's intercepted by the Maple Leafs and brought out slowly to center ice by TJ Brody, and now quickly get ahead now for Robertson. He was taken into the sideboards by Gudas. Oh,
this is going to get ugly.
This is going to get ugly right now. Yep. Played down, and now McMahon throws a hit, and the Ducks run at as McTavish takes a run at one of the Leafs. McCabe.
Yeah, you know what? This is not going to get a lot of respect. Like I said, you jumped Domi, Max Domi, and he obliges and drops the gloves. But you want nothing to do with Ryan Reeves. And Reeves is chirping Gudas now. Oh, Radko's staying out. A little bit of a chirp.
All right. Well, it's 7-1, and still things to be decided. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Bet365 doesn't do ordinary. That's why they've introduced Same Game Parlay Plus. It's a game changer. Making a same game parlay across different games has never been easier because the biggest games and most popular markets are now all in one place. Check out Same Game Parlay Plus and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Unhibernate. Verb. To laugh in the face of snow because you drive a Subaru. As in, when I unhibernate, I have the roads all to myself because my Subaru has symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and others don't. Or, the award-winning safety in my Subaru means I can unhibernate all winter while my neighbors stare longingly from their bedroom windows. Or my favorite usage, I'm going to unhibernate this winter by visiting my local Subaru dealer today. Welcome to Uncommon Winter Confidence.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Long shot, deflects in front of the goal. They backhanded into the net.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Lead pass at center, deflects high and goes down into the Toronto zone. McCabe swinging it around on the far side. Nyes just gets it through center and down into the offensive end. Marner up, hounding the defenseman as it comes wide. He is able to pull back, and Cam Fowler now finds opening, and he'll play it through center, and it's deflecting high and clearing the screen and going into the spectators. Andrew Smith and Kyle Flemington are the linesmen. Sorry, Jimmy. Peter McDougall and Graham Skeletor are the referees tonight.
You know what? You'd be fine going back to the Radko Gudas thing if he doesn't engage with Max Domi. 2 inches shorter. Probably a 40-pound difference in weight. Gudas in at 208. Max Domi, well, I got Max in at 208 as well, but 5'10" to 6 feet.
Well, we'll wait and see. Draw one by Toronto. Played off the boards and down the ice. Icing indicated and called. The Ducks are like, as I mentioned, the Masters leaderboard. You got Cam Fowler at minus 28. Jackson Lacombe is minus 25. Then Mason McTavish is minus 17. And Frank Vetrano is minus 16. Now, thrown all in that, we've talked about Gudas a lot. He's plus 16 somehow on this team. So,
a lot of 2-on-2s. He goes to the bench.
I guess. Sometimes it's just
another penalty here.
A hook.
I think it's going to go to the. It's going to be Max Domi, I think, in this one.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So the Ducks go to the power play. 4 power play goals for the Leafs in this game. Their record, we did this game, is 7. Came in 2005, October 14th, against the Atlanta Thrashers.
Were they in the league?
In 2000 and...
Apparently.
Yeah. You don't remember the Atlanta Thrashers?
Yes.
Yeah, they're in the league.
I loved going to Atlanta. Draw to the right in the Leaf zone. Power play number 2 for Anaheim. Fowler at the point. Drops it off on the near side. Ryan Strome down into the corner, dropping it back. It goes to Fowler. Fowler looking for Adam Henrique in the slot. Can't get it to him as it was blocked there by David Camp. Played into the corner, and Jake McCabe gets it ahead. And Marner backhands it high, and it's all the way out and down the ice. The Leafs 7. The Ducks 1. 21 shots for Toronto. The save percentage is not nearly what it was in the game played in Anaheim. Here are the Ducks with it as they get it back to the blue line. Fowler to the far side. Unable to shoot it. Controlled again on the far wing. Strome trying to get it around back of the net. Gets it to the near side. Now here's Fowler in the slot area. Works back to the point. Ducks working it around on the outside. Strome got a shot away and tried to redirect with Silverberg in front of the net, but it went wide. Played back to the blue line to Fowler again. Fowler to the near side to Strome. Strome in the near half board. Still with it. Top of the circles. Got it through, and that was kicked away by Jones. Grabbed off again now by the Ducks. Breaking his stick there was Vetrano. And now stealing it is the defenseman, and that was Brody getting in the way and is shot out and down the ice finally by the Maple Leafs. 9:20 to go in the period. 25 seconds left in the power play. The Ducks bringing it out of their own zone. Carlson hits the line with a pass. Bouncing puck. The Leafs are able to free it up. And now breaking out at center ice with it, Bobby McMahon. One man back going wide. Got a shot away, and that was stopped by John Gibson. Penalty has just 5 seconds left in it. Domi about to return. Carlson gets it in. Played in around the boards. Flipped back to the blue line. Gudas with a shot, and that went wide of the net. Puck into the near corner. Trying to come out with it now. Terry trying to get a shot away, and it went high and wide of the goal on the far side. Another shot deflects on the far boards. Trying to get to it there as the Leafs, and they can't as it comes to the side of the net. Around back of the goal. Henrique trying to come away with it. That is tied up on the boards and finally chipped around back of the net. Down into the far corner it goes, and now just lifted high by Noah Gregor into center ice. Gudas.
Well, they remember him now.
Yeah, I think so. Shot goes high and wide off a stick into the near corner. Worked back to the blue line. Kept in at the point by Vaakanainen. And now around back of the net. Trying to come out with it is Max Jones. Drop for Vaakanainen. Around back of the net. Couldn't get it in front. Now trying to jam it in. Down is Jones. And trying to come up with it. And it is pushed just wide of the Leaf net. Good pressure here from Anaheim. But it is cleared to center ice finally by Nylander.
You know what the worst thing about Radko Gudas is?
What?
Doesn't play for Toronto. He is.
Yes.
He is exactly
what you
the kind of villain
you love to have on your squad. I couldn't agree with you more. He's among the leader in hits every year.
In fact, since 2018-19, he leads the National Hockey League in hits, ahead of only Brady Tkachuk, Matt Martin for the Islanders, and Ryan Reeves. The top four.
Did I ever lead you into that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I looked at your notes.
You might want to check it.
Shot down into the Anaheim zone. 6:59 to play in the second period. Leafs 7. And the Ducks 1. Fowler gets in over the line and plays it down into the corner. Brody gets double teamed back of the net, but the Leafs come away with it. And out at center ice, a pass off the stick. No, didn't reach Reeves. It's gone down the ice. And there'll be a face-off coming back in the Toronto end.
6:45 to go as this game is kind of settled in now. And they're not easy games to play, even when you get the 7-1 lead this early. You know, you can get into some bad habits where, you know, you're not as sharp in your breakouts. You don't have the desire really to run up the score, but yet you don't want to ease off to the point where those habits are going to leak into Monday's game against the St. Louis Blues. That's why you see so often a team will have a big game one night, goal-wise, and then get skunked the next.
Down into the Duck zone. It's played back to the point. Liljegren walks the line, dishes it back for Reeves. He sends it in around back of the net. Nyes is down there. Works back now, trying to come out with a nice move in front of the net and a shot. Big save and a rebound. Nyes trying to dig at it. But John Gibson is able to cover up on it. And Matthew Nyes with a pretty little move from the goal line to get to the front of the net and get a chance.
How bad do you feel for John Gibson? Coming in on a Leaf power play to start the second period. And the Leafs have made him and the Ducks pay 7-1.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You're not going to be blessed. You've already been blessed.
Sirius XM's Joel Osteen Radio.
It set the fire inside of me, and I'm thankful for Joel.
Find your inspiration.
It's just so encouraging. You can't feel down on yourself.
My wife Victoria and I invite you to tune in 24/7 to be encouraged and inspired.
Hope is powerful.
Yes, it is. If you need a miracle, become a miracle.
Listen to Sirius XM, this channel. Your life will never be the same.
Joel Osteen Radio, Sirius XM 128, or listen on the Sirius XM app.
Under review.
The National Hockey League, it's the #1 league in the world. It's a tough league. It's not shinny. I never wanted to become a league where the stars get an extra step or two. And there is a real divide with some people who go, the NHL doesn't do enough for its stars. No. What we like about hockey is it's a team game.
Under review
with Mick Kerr.
11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Sometimes a goalie's style fits certain teams better, and I think the way Adin Hill plays fits the Vegas Golden Knights, the way Bruce Cassidy wants to coach defensively perfectly. He's a monster of a guy. He works really hard. He doesn't give up bad goals. He is a grinder. He's a worker, and it just seems to fit.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
And the Leafs Radio Network.
The Leafs 7 and the Ducks of Anaheim 1.
William Legason, sorry, Joe, has not returned. He left in the first period, has not come back here in the second at all, which is a tough break for him, guy trying to make the most of an opportunity.
Andrew Holland tell you that?
Armin. Oh. Armin did some math for me, too.
Did he?
Yes.
Did he check your mathematics?
No, he did it for me.
Oh, he did it for you? Oh, good idea. Okay. Gudas dropping it off. Zakanainen got it ahead. It's cleared in. A bouncing puck to the side of the net in the Leaf zone. Cleared away then from Lundstrom. Liljegren lost his stick, regains it in time to try and play it off a stick, and it's going to bounce out into the center ice area. Gudas.
Now Reeves is on the ice with Gudas again.
Yeah, well. And now they collide, and here we go. No, the linesmen are going to get in the way again.
Radku says no. I mean, you should give Reeves credit. He's been looking for it. And now, Ross Johnson. He can throw him as well. He's over. Now I guess Johnson's got to protect Radko Gudas. And now...
Are they going to give them penalties?
Gudas is... Now he's a little more talkative with the two linesmen between them skating over to the box. I mean, he's a big, strong, physical guy. I'm not...
Number 75, minor penalty on sportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, I'm not. I realize the linesman. It's your job to try to diffuse things when you can.
Well, in the old days,
Gudas is shown laughing in the penalty box right now.
In the old days, the discussion in the box would be when we step out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and a lot of people are totally against this, and this is sort of back to the days of the original six, where you say, okay, you're going to fight Max Domi. We've got to now, if you're not going to fight Ryan Reeves has to find a comparable in your lineup. And I'm not sure exactly who that would be. Ross Johnson, by the way, is 6'5", 234 pounds. And I think
division.
Yeah, but I think Greg Cronin, the Anaheim coach, is making sure that if Gudas is on the ice, he's got Ross Johnson close.
Pass then by McCabe, blocked, kept alive, and then rolls off a stick by Anaheim and comes out at center ice, and Matthews almost stole it there. Brought back the other way and in for Leo Carlson. Carlson drops the puck back, trying to work wide of the net now is Alex Killorn, just back into the lineup after being on the injured list. The Leafs are able to free it up. It comes back into the slot, though, trying to work in front. Too much traffic, and the Leafs are able to come away with the puck. Matthews coming to center. Matthews dropping for Marner. Marner in across the line. Sifts to the left wing board. Saucers it back to the point to Brody. Brody looking for his first goal of the season. Works around back of the net and stops. Now looking for a man in front because the Leafs are changing. Goes back to Lajoie. Max Lajoie to Brody once more. Brody to Domi. Domi walks the line. Leaves it there for Brody. Brody holds and can't keep it in as he stick handled his way back out into the center ice area. 52 seconds left in the coincident minor penalties to Gudas and Reeves. Here's Domi with a nifty little bit of stick handling to Lajoie. Back to the point and a shot in for Domi. And he had to go off his shin pad and it was right near his stick, which would have been a great chance at goal, but it bounced away from him before he could make any contact. Ducks get it back down into the Leaf end. They work back on the near boards. Vetrano, the goal scorer for the Ducks in this game, comes away on the left wing. Pulls up. Frank Vetrano dropping it off. Trying to drive the net is Terry, and the shot went wide. The rebound! And getting over there to make his best save of the game was Martin Jones. Kept alive at the blue line. Michikov had to go off a stick and go wide. It lays back at the net, and the Leafs are onto it. And they're going to play it up on the wing. Gudas is out there, and Reeves gives him a little bit of a shot, but Gudas heads to the bench in a big-time hurry.
I think 18,500 people have paid more attention to a line change right now than they have in the history of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, they were like me, keeping an eye on that clock. Played high to center ice. Knocked down there by Pontus Holmberg. And then set out by Marner into the center ice area. He's going to have to go back and now hustle back after it and play it back of the net nicely for Jake McKay. Off the boards for McMahon. McMahon pulls up, finds Marner. Played it. Is Marner playing defense? He was there for a minute, wasn't he? McMahon sends a shot wide. The Leafs are down to 5 defensemen. Back at the blue line, Brody, left wing side, Domi, down into the corner for Bobby McMahon. McMahon, who has scored here tonight, on a bit of a roll, trying to drive the net. Going to have a penalty called against Anaheim. Here's Domi coming out, a pass in front, they score! McMahon again! Rocket McMahon, and now we got some shoving in front of the net. It's
Radko Gudas, and I'm not sure which Leaf went after him, whether it was Max Domi again. But another minus for Radko.
And Domi's getting a penalty. And Radko Gudas, I think, is going to the box again as well.
Well, maybe he'll have another good laugh in there before the Leafs bang another one in. 2:02 to go. Like we said, you know, you'd love to have him on your team, but there is something about, so we're looking at it here, did Gudas maybe come up with a high stick? A little bit of a late hit on McMahon?
Yeah, late hit, a cross check.
And I think we might be playing a little 4-on-4 here. And you really feel for John Gibson in the goal. Yeah, it was a late cross check by Gudas. But see, this is where you start to lose respect, Joe. Okay, you don't want to fight, but you're going to get caught laughing in the penalty box. And then you're going to take a cheap shot late, and then you're going to come around Reeves, and you're not going to fight again. You're going to go to the bench. Now you're going to have Ross Colton come out, and he's got to stand up for you because you're the star that's got to be protected. And like I said, there's so much about his game that you would love to have in your own lineup. But I think this is kind of the stuff where you say, if you're not going to fight,
Domi's the one that came over and really gave him a pretty good combing.
See, and again, it's obviously being selective, right? So in his mind, he's in Max Domi's class, but not Ryan Reeves when it comes to the rough stuff. Anyway,
well, it's an 8-1 game. At least it's interesting.
there's a little animosity to it, isn't there?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah,
very much so. But Bobby McMahon, let's talk about the positives here. Rocket McMahon has just scored his 5th goal in 3 games.
Yeah, and up to 7 on the season. And again, it's because you've got Yarncroc, John Tavares out of the lineup. Well, we got 2 Leafs in the box.
Reeves is in the box.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be a power play now for Anaheim.
Number 7, Radko Gudas, 2 minutes for cross-checking. And to the Maple Leafs, number 11, Max Domi, 4 minutes for roughing.
Oh, okay. So Max gets 4.
And I think, is Anaheim getting another penalty here for high sticking?
Well, Peter McDougall and Graham Skilleter, the referees, picked this assignment and thought it should be okay.
Yeah.
And now, instead, they got themselves into the hornet's nest.
And Mason McTavish, I think, is the Anaheim player, just a little careless in behind the Leaf net.
Well, if nothing else, that helps the Leafs' penalty-killing statistic.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
And was it McCabe getting the high stick again?
Scott Sterling. Like another one. Like I said, if you don't know what we're talking about, just
Google
the Scott Sterling soccer goalie.
Yeah. Here's Marner. Back for Matthews. Just kept in at the blue line to Marner. Marner down along the boards for Nylander, and he can't keep it in. It's going to come out into the center ice area.
What do you think of this? 4-on-4. Marner, Matthews, Nylander on the ice.
Well,
in an 8-1 game.
Okay, and why is that, Ralphie?
Radko Gudas.
Thank you. Here's a shot by Marner that is kicked away by Gibson. Nylander dropping to the blue line. Brody slides it off on the right wing side for Marner. Matthews to the bench, and Marner's going to skate it back into the center ice area and down into the Leaf end with Fowler chasing him. Oh, almost a pass that sprang Bertuzzi at the blue line from Marner, but it was knocked away. McMahon from Holmberg and Domi. The 8th goal for the Maple Leafs, who are padding their statistical sheets here tonight.
Yeah, it is interesting, though, and you wonder, should the Leafs get a power play in the 3rd period? What combination they'll go with? I do remember, I won't say which Leaf coach it was, telling me the Leafs were up 9-2 in a game late. They had a power play, and they came out with their number 1 unit. And talking to the coach after, he said, when it came to the opposing coach, I can't stand his guts. I was gonna pull the goalie almost when it was 9-2 just to get the extra man out to throw another one in.
Carlson brings it down the left wing side, tried to make a move on the inside, but it was knocked away. The Leafs lose it now. A centering pass in front of the goal. Minchikov got a shot, and it was deflected wide of the Leaf net. Bertuzzi, who ended the 19-game drought, gets a pass in the slot. Oh, and he just missed that far corner. Lajoie trying to chip it in front of the net, but fails. And the Ducks are going to break it out at center ice. Minchikov in across the line, left wing side, taken wide there by Nyes and knocked down on the play. Liljegren got it up on the wing, and the Leafs are just going to get it out at center ice. Final seconds ticking down in this 2nd period as a long shot goes wide of the Toronto goal. 4 in the 1st, 4 more in the 2nd, and the Maple Leafs have an 8-1 lead on the Ducks of Anaheim after 40 minutes of play.
Well, here's something interesting now. As Armin says, Austin Matthews on pace for a 76-goal season. Well, the last time the NHL had a 70-goal score was the 92-93 season. There were a couple of them, Teemu Selanne and Alexander McGillney. Before that, Brett Hull had three straight 70-plus goal seasons. So, I mean, it has been a while since we've seen something in this pace. And we said the way it's going, he may hit 50 tonight.
I'm running out of room on my scoreboard. Well, may have to use another page.
Good thing he never broadcast games I played.
Good point. At any rate, we'll step aside. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert coming your way. The Leafs have an 8-1 lead on Anaheim. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we've introduced Same Game Parlay Plus. It's a game changer. Making a same game parlay across different games has never been easier because the biggest games and most popular markets are now all in one place. Check out Same Game Parlay Plus and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Move up to Heathwood. Hi, I'm Hugh Heron. Experience a new level of luxury at Williamsburg Green. Your new single-family home will have all the modern features you dream about, even a fully finished lower level. Kitchener's newest master plan community with bike trails, parks, and a new library. Williamsburg Green has it all. It's time to move up to Heathwood. Learn more at heathwood.com.
Think two-man-on-a-truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think two-man-on-a-truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, two-men-in-a-truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey. On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. This game has gotten out of control. 8-1 lead for the Maple Leafs after 40 minutes against the Anaheim Ducks. There's fights. There's people saying no to fighting. There's Bobby McMatthews with 2, but Austin Matthews with 3. A lot to recap from that first 2 periods.
Yeah, we'll get into all of it, but this is first and foremost a schoolyard humiliation. It's a pantsing, dunking a head in a toilet. I don't know what's going on, but it's one team absolutely dominating the other in every sense of the word, whether it's on the score sheet or in the invitations to throw knuckles. The Maple Leafs are one-upping, big brothering in every single way over the Anaheim Ducks tonight in an 8-1 game after 2 periods.
All right, lots to go through. We'll take a quick break, and we will do so on the other side. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Don't miss MLB Network Radio's tour of spring training beginning later this month. It's baseball's time to shine. Tune in as we visit with all 30 teams on site across Arizona and Florida. Hear from the star players, managers, and front office executives. MLB Network Radio's tour of spring training begins later this month on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89, and the Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
I'm with John Cooper, head coach of the Lightning. Can you kind of talk about your relationship with your captain?
You know, whether I say it's a friendship or whatever we have, our bond is it's really come and really evolved over the years. He's one of the greatest, he's our greatest ambassador, but I think he's one of the greatest ambassadors for the sport. You know, the kid's a class act, and it's been really a pleasure to watch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
The last 10 NHL drafts, 62 American kids have gone in the first round. So they're averaging over 6 kids per draft per first round. But I think the lowest you could rank America as a global hockey power now is 2, and it might be 1, and we might find that over the next couple of years. Take a bow, USA Hockey.
Point with Boomer Gordon, 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Mr. Rick Tocchet, if you're taking a mix of coaches you had the best of, what is that mix for Rick Tocchet?
Scotty Bowman behind the bench, tactician. Mike Keenan, a lot of stuff that coaches do now, he did. Jim Schoenfeld, the father figure. And Mike Sullivan. You know, I still talk to guys like Craig Berube, Travis Green. So, you know, there's a mixture, and then you got to find your own niche, right?
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Hey Toronto, I'm David Morsuti, host of the daily Toronto Maple Leafs podcast, Locked On Leafs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network on the SiriusXM app. Every weekday, we bring you the latest Leafs news and analysis, break down all the action, including this game you're listening to right now, and preview the next one. We're giving you everything a Leafs fan could want, all in a daily 30-minute podcast. Download Locked On Leafs right now on the SiriusXM app, available with all trials and popular plans, or where you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Leafs.
If you're a soccer fan, you know that this music means one thing. The Champions League is on SiriusXM FC.
Hat-trick for Erling Haaland. Kane scores!
The top teams from around Europe are battling for club soccer's holy grail.
Real Madrid do what they do best. What a start for Inter!
Hear all the top Champions League matches all tournament long on SiriusXM FC 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Under review.
The National Hockey League, it's the number one league in the world. It's a tough league. It's not shinny. I never wanted to become a league where the stars get an extra step or two. And there is a real divide with some people who go, the NHL doesn't do enough for its stars. No, what we like about hockey is it's a team game.
Under review
With Mick Kerr.
11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Leafs Radio Network.
To Nylander, to Matthews, and a shot by Matthews, scores! Centering pack, scores! He's done it! Finally, Tyler Bertuzzi finds the back of the net! It's nice with a chance to score! Matthews again! Here's Domi coming out and pass in front, they score!
Woo! Welcome back.
A lot of laughter in that opening.
Oh, this is a crazy night.
It's a laughable night. It's
Yes.
a laugher at Scotiabank Arena with the Maple Leafs up 8-1 on the lowly Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah, we're back on Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Where to begin? Goodness. The post-game show is going to be fun. The boys on Leafs Talk got lots to go through. We have a limited amount of time to tell you how great Austin Matthews is. Another hat trick, back-to-back hat tricks. I saw a funny tweet from the Maple Leafs social media team writing, we're running out of ways to tweet about this. And I'm like, I feel you. We're running out of ways to talk about this. But once again, another hat trick for Austin Matthews. Halfway through the period, through the game. It's his 6th hat trick of the season. The record is 10, held by Wayne Gretzky in a year. Honestly, he might do it.
Yeah, I mean, the Maple Leaf social media team, like, everyone has their own version of a 9 to 5, right? Like, their 9 to 5 is just trying to brainstorm ways that they can continue to describe Austin Matthews' goal-scoring season, because it's been ridiculous. He was averaging a point every 5 minutes through the first 25 minutes of this game. New single career high with 5 points tonight, which is very hard to believe. But the pace now for the season is up to 76 goals. We're talking about 50 and 50 being this impossibility. And our guy Sam McKee may, start talking about that, maybe jump the gun a little bit. But right now we're at 48 goals in 51 and a half games, or 51 in 2/3 of a game. It is ridiculous stuff from Austin Matthews right now, and it feels like it was the perfect period. Not only did he score another hat trick tonight, he just decided to set up and end Tyler Bertuzzi's goal-scoring slump with a primary assist that was basically, 85 to 90% of the work on the goal? Just a ridiculous
I think we could have probably put that one in the net if we were Bertuzzi.
I was worried it went off an Anaheim duck, and Matthews had his 4th, and Bertuzzi was still on 0.
But, folks, yes, the national nightmare is over. Tyler Bertuzzi has scored a goal. He was our player to watch. I'm so proud to have helped manifest this for poor Tyler Bertuzzi, but he's on the scoreboard. Same with Bobby McMahon with 2, Matthews with 3. They did pull goaltender after the first, Lucas Dostal, and then poor John Gibson comes in.
Gibson. He's got to come into this game where the Anaheim Ducks are basically, this is an awful effort from them. He's got to come in and face a scorching hot Austin Matthews, and he promptly gives up another 4. That's just
tough go.
That's a tough break for a veteran goaltender in John Gibson.
Okay, we'll take one more quick break. You're listening to Most Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Get the official NHL app to watch, read, and listen to all the deeks.
All I can say is absolutely wow.
All the sauce. All the saves.
Stop from
All the hits, all the snipes, all the sellies.
He scores! Unbelievable!
All the hockey. If it's hockey, it's here. Listen to every NHL game for free, now with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Download the official NHL app now.
Every year, fans debate over the draft. Who's going first? At Chuck's, they already know. The top draft choice is that icy cold 18-ounce Molson Canadian you're holding, and it's just $4 at Chuck's during Leafs games. No wonder that at draft time, Canadians are always in high demand. Chuck's Roadhouse Bar and Grill. Food the way it ought to be. Price the way it used to be.
Move up to Heathwood. Hi, I'm Hugh Heron. Experience true luxury at Williamsburg Green in Kitchener. Williamsburg Green is everything you want in a community. Enjoy fabulous trails, parks, playgrounds, sports areas, and more. Our beautiful all-brick homes include luxury features you've always dreamed of, even a fully finished lower level. It's time to move up to Heathwood. Learn more at heathwood.com.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we've introduced Same Game Parlay Plus. It's a game changer. Making a same game parlay across different games has never been easier because the biggest games and most popular markets are now all in one place. Check out Same Game Parlay Plus and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Think two-man-in-a-truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think two-man-in-a-truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, two-men-in-a-truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
There are many peculiar words in the English language. Words like solivigant, peregrinate, nemophilus, peripatetic, and conviviality. Yet, there is no word for getting the most out of winter in your Subaru, thanks to symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and X-Mode. Until now. We call it unhibernate. As in, while your neighbors stay home, you'll be unhibernating all winter in your Subaru. So peregrinate to your local Subaru dealer today, and welcome to uncommon winter confidence.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Nice has tied the game, but a brilliant play by Max Domi.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
We're back on Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. We're going to take a quick look around the NHL. The scoreboard presented by Bet365. Visit the app for the latest odds to find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only, play responsibly.
Yeah, let's move quickly here. The Kings beat the Bruins 5-4. Blackhawks beat the Senators 3-2. 5-0 Red Wings over Flames 4-3. Oilers over the Stars in overtime. Predators beat the Blues 5-2. Sabres beat the Wild 3-2 in overtime. 9-2 the Panthers beat the Lightning. Oh boy. 2-2 Canadians and Capitals. 2-0 outside, Devils leading the Flyers, and still to come tonight. Canucks host the Jets, Golden Knights host the Hurricanes, and the Sharks and Blue Jackets will go at it in San Jose.
And the Leafs lead 8-1 after 40 minutes here at Scotiabank Arena over the Anaheim Ducks. This third period could be a messy one. I have no idea what to expect, but hopefully everyone gets out safe and sound.
Well, I've counted 4 invitations to fight that Radko Dudas has declined. We'll see if there's a 5th or a 6th or a 7th in the third period.
Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph will have the call of the third period next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Celebrate the power of black expression. From jazz greats and hip-hop heroes to sports stars and comedy legends.
I'm lost, I'm on Martin Luther King. Run!
With exclusive Black History Month pop-up channels from the Apollo Theater and Teddy Riley.
Are you ready for start time?
Plus in-depth interviews, historical deep dives, new shows, and more.
What's going on? I'm Kevin Hart, and you don't want to miss my show, Gold Mines, with me, Kevin Hart.
Just search Black History Month in the all-new SiriusXM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
And we're with John Cooper, head coach of the Lightning. Can you kind of talk about your relationship with your captain?
You know, whether I say it's a friendship or whatever we have, our bond is it's really come and really evolved over the years. He's one of the greatest, he's our greatest ambassador, but I think he's one of the greatest ambassadors for the sport. You know, the kid's a class act, and it's been really a pleasure to watch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
The last 10 NHL drafts, 62 American kids have gone in the first round. So they're averaging over 6 kids per draft per first round. But I think the lowest you could rank America as a global hockey power now is 2, and it might be 1, and we might find that over the next couple of years. Take a bow, USA Hockey.
Points with Boomer Gordon. 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
If you're a soccer fan, you know that this music means one thing. The Champions League is on Sirius XM FC.
Hat-trick for Erling Haaland. Kane scores!
The top teams from around Europe are battling for club soccer's holy grail.
Real Madrid do what they do best. What a start for Inter!
Hear all the top Champions League matches all tournament long on Sirius XM FC 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Radio Network.
The Maple Leafs carry an 8-1 lead into the third period. Austin Matthews with his 6th hat trick. When you think about that, 6th hat trick for Matthews. No other team has more than 5 as a team.
As a team.
As a team.
You know the last time one player's had 5 hat tricks in a season? You have got to go back to the 05-06 season. Jonathan Chichu of the San Jose Sharks.
Wow.
But I don't. I mean, sort of
amazing individual, and aren't you glad that they signed him to a fairly lengthy contract extension?
Yes, I would say so.
I would say so. Now Domi is in the box, joined in there by Mason McTavish.
And McTavish took the high sticking penalty late.
Yep. Leafs have 13 seconds left on their 5th power play opportunity of the game, and they are 4 for 4 at this point. So,
and I don't think, as much as it's something fun to follow here in the third period, I don't think you're going to see Gudas go with Ryan Reeves, although I give Max Domi credit.
Oh,
he went with him once and went right back at him in the second period.
That might be the main event yet. Sent down into the Duck zone. The Leafs moving right to left. The puck is around back of the goal. Cut off there by Nyes. Couldn't get it back to the blue line. Matthews couldn't come up with it. So once again, we have to query, has Austin Matthews ever had a 4-goal game? Becoming a little...
I'll tell you one thing, though, when they were 4-on-4 late in the second period, Joel and Keefe put out Matthews, Marner, and Willie Nylander. As soon as they got the puck into the offensive zone, they changed. So I don't think Matthews is of the ilk that he wants to embarrass anybody and run up the scores. He's probably more than happy to wait to overtime on the road next week.
Killorn gets it down into the Toronto end. Puck in against the end boards. Tied up there. Dug out and into the corner. Killorn trying to get it in front. And the Leafs have pulled it away and are starting out of their own zone. Nicky Robertson works in on the left wing. Takes it wide. Had it go off Gudas' stick into the corner. It comes free and is grabbed off by Bobby McMahon. Back to the point, and a shot is gloved. And into the glove of John Gibson, who took over for Lucas Dostal after the first period, in which he had 18 shots and the Leafs scored 4. The save percentage for John Gibson isn't nearly as good because the Leafs had 9 in the second period and he gave up 4 more.
They scored quite a few from about the 30-foot mark, didn't they?
Yep.
In this game, Bertuzzi's was a tap in. Matthews third. He chopped in a rebound from the top of the crease.
Played out and off a stick down into the Toronto zone. Morgan Riley's going to say, why do the guys play so well when I'm not around?
Well, John Tavares.
17-2-1 if the score holds up, which you would assume it will, without Riley in the lineup since 2022. At the point, long shot. That's deflected wide. Crowd buzzing about something.
The wave.
Oh, the wave is gone. All right. Oh, good. Okay. I thought, am I missing something here? Here's Bertuzzi getting the puck free, and it comes to the line, but Pontus Holmberg couldn't get it in, and the Leafs are back in their own zone. Well, it's a party atmosphere when it's 8-1. Up ahead for Gregor. He can't get into the zone. Gregor will send it back into the Toronto end, and they'll organize back there. Up on the left wing for TJ Brody. A lead pass just in over the line. Grabbed off by Noah Gregor, sent to the far side. A pass in front of the net is intercepted. And now here the Ducks getting it out into the center ice area with Lindstrom, playing it in on the left wing. Carrick tries to get a shot, but it was deflected in along the boards. Carrick gets it back to the blue line, and Fowler couldn't keep it in as it bounced over his stick. Gudas gets it ahead at center and is backhanded down into the Toronto zone.
My dad, for those that may not be aware, Radko Gudas was involved in Florida's overtime clinching game here at Scotiabank Arena last year, where famous picture of him screaming inches from the face of Leaf goalie Joseph Wall.
Centering pass in front, backhand by KO by Matthews, and that was stopped by Gibson. He came that close to 4. Into the center ice area. McTavish takes a bit of a run there at Liljegren. Now the Ducks play it around back of the Toronto goal. McTavish got a piece of his man again. It's up on the wing for Marner. Marner trying to knock it free, and the Leafs come away with it. And skating it out on the left wing side was Nyes, and then he pulls up in the midst of a change, and he'll go to the bench. Off a stick to center as Lajoie couldn't handle it. Brought in over the line now by the Ducks. In on the right side. A pass sent there by Lyubushkin. Over on the left wing. A shot in traffic. That didn't make it through. Another shot, sharp angle. Handled easily there by Jones. And the Leafs just play it out into the center ice area. Bobby McMahon trying to come away with a loose puck. I think that would have been offside had it been reviewed, but the Ducks get it out at center ice. Knocked off a stick and onto the wing. A shot by Killorn. Bouncing puck. Another shot, and they score. Leo Carlson coming off the left wing. As they got a pretty beneficial bounce to that side. And Carlson is able to net the second goal of the game for Anaheim.
Well, you wonder if this is going to be looked at as goalie interference. I mean, I realize it's an 8-1 game, but there was some contact made with Martin Jones.
Ryan Strome.
Yeah. I know it might. Now, I think they are going to challenge this, and I think rightfully so. I mean, I think you kind of owe it to your goaltender. You can't just say, hey, it's the score. We're not going to do it. But there was contact made as Jones tried to get over. The rebound went past Strome out to Carlson. And then Strome continued to the net and certainly appeared to be all over Martin Jones by the time the puck hit the mesh. And here's the quick call.
No goal. From the department of when things are going bad, they really go south. So strong.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty easy one. Anyway, so unfortunately,
so what are the leads now? 12-1, 13-1, I believe.
13-1 maybe on the year in challenges.
Yep.
But for Carlson at 8 on the season, that would have been 9.
Not anymore. That part of the mathematics I can figure out all on my own, Mr. Rao.
Well, I still think it's a challenge.
Well, I did ask Armin to double check it. So puck down into the Anaheim zone. Nylander unable to come away with it. Fowler will play it ahead, and the Ducks are going to get it out at center where Max Domi intercepts, waits for teammates to get onside, and just flips it into the left wing corner. Bertuzzi couldn't get to it. Nylander unable to. Oh, and then Bertuzzi got another great chance. He's had at least 3 real good chances. The one that grazed the goal post, then the goal, and that one right there. He may be in the hat trick department if he'd have had a little more puck luck around the net. But we're saying that for the last 19 games,
Yes.
too, now that I think about it.
The last goal might have just started another slump.
Yes. Benoit knocks a puck down at center, and it's cleared down into the zone. And Lindstrom will send it out and down into the Leaf end. Jones out of the goal. Looks to make a pass. Swings it up on the wing. And it'll be brought by McMahon with a lead pass for Robertson, and he couldn't get there, and then was hooked and went sliding and knocked down Gibson, who is slow to get back on his skates, but he's all right.
If I'm John Gibson, I may be calling for the stretcher.
Yes.
Slide me
out of here.
Slide me right onto the bus.
Long shot wide off a skate by McMahon. Back of the net, McMahon works to the left wing corner. Still with it, sends a shot high, and it's going to go off a stick and into the screen and out of play. The Leafs with an 8-1 laugher going on here against Anaheim. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Congratulations to the Super Bowl 58 champion Kansas City Chiefs.
Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes. Everybody says 3 is a dynasty. We got 3, and we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep rolling. We got Coach Reed, we got Trav, we got a great defense, we got a lot of young players. Obviously, we didn't start the way we wanted to, but just like all year, defense kept us in it, or we were able to come up big at the very end. But I'm just proud of this team, man. We fought to the very end, and we're Super Bowl champs.
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
And we're with John Cooper, head coach of the Lightning. Can you kind of talk about your relationship with your captain?
You know, whether I say it's a friendship or whatever we have, our bond is it's really come and really evolved over the years. He's one of the greatest, he's our greatest ambassador, but I think he's one of the greatest ambassadors for the sport. You know, the kid's a class act, and it's been really a pleasure to watch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
The last 10 NHL drafts, 62 American kids have gone in the first round. So they're averaging over 6 kids per draft per first round. But I think the lowest you could rank America as a global hockey power now is 2, and it might be 1, and we might find that over the next couple of years. Take a bow, USA Hockey.
Point with Boomer Gordon. 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Hi, this is Ray Hudson, and for all the biggest matches from club soccer's holy grail, the UEFA Champions League, tune in to Sirius XM FC 157.
The Leafs leading 8-1. Austin Matthews with 3. Bobby McMahon with 2. Jake McCabe, William Nylander, and Todd Bertuzzi have scored the goals for the Maple Leafs here this evening. McCabe has his 5th of the year, as I write that down on my score sheet. Bouncing puck in front of the goal and trying to chip it there was David Camp. Played out at center ice. The Leafs' next action is Monday afternoon. They'll practice here tomorrow and then head to Salos, Missouri, where they'll take on the Blue. And we'll have that action for you. Hope that you will join us on the Family Day Monday. And Camp gets the puck ahead, and Noah Gregor slides it out into the center ice area. 12:53, and the Ducks would love to just get this game to go very quickly from this point on. And so far, there's not been any more chance at a Radko Gudas.
No, I think that's done.
Think that's done?
Yeah.
Well, you just never know when another cheap shot might be just enough to start it up again.
Yeah, but I mean, from a Leaf standpoint, you got to be careful. You don't want to lose guys to injury in an 8-1 game against Anaheim either.
Killorn leaves the puck for Carlson, who shoots it into the Toronto end.
But if the Leafs do get a chance at an empty net, slap the damn thing.
That's a bit of a stretch at 8-1, but yeah, all right, well, let's go with that. Nyes playing it back into his own zone. And the Leafs are quite content to just play keep away here a little bit. Nylander decides he's going to slide out at center ice, got it up on the wing, and McCabe will play it in a little deeper before he heads to the bench. Now, pass intercepted there by Domi, but brought out at center ice. Adam Henrique will play it down into the zone. Good hit there by Lajoie. So here's a guy, Max Lajoie, playing in just his 5th game for the Leafs this year. A turnover, though, and a centering effort was knocked wide there by Brody. Good play.
It was a great play by Brody. Because it looked like they were going to walk right around Martin Jones and tuck it in short side, and Brody had to kind of sprawl and sweep it away.
Max Jones gets to center. There's a Benoit hit that stood him up at the blue line. That puck goes into the corner. And I'm talking about Max Lajoie. Here I am. I'm getting in my 5th game. It's gotten a little bit physical. You know what? Why don't I ramp it up a little bit here? I want to play more, right? Played high to center ice by Toronto. Robertson almost knocked that away from Lyubushkin. And now here the Ducks getting it out and bringing it to center and shooting it into the Toronto zone. We're half minute away from the midway point of the 3rd period with the Leafs, dare say I say, comfortably in front, 8-1. McCabe taking his time in the Toronto zone. Fed it ahead for Camp. Camp deflects it down into the Duck zone. Flipped around the boards. Reeves is out there. Turnover now for Camp. Drop past Gregor. Shot goes high off a stick and into the screen and out of play. And a face-off will come in the Anaheim zone with 10:02 left to play in the period. The Leafs out west with games to be played in Arizona and Vegas and St. Louis.
And Colorado.
And Colorado, yes, exactly. Well. Four-game trip.
How about this? And this is relevant, I guess, because of who's in the building. But there are 4 players who have scored over 500 goals in the NHL who are not in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Okay. Shot here, deflected there by Jones.
Pardon me, 500 goals.
500 goals, yeah, okay.
4 players, 500 goals, but not in the Hall of Fame. 1, Pat Verbeek, the general manager of the Anaheim Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
The others, Keith Kutchuk, Jeremy Roenick, and Peter Bondra.
Wow. All of them have got to get some kind of consideration, don't you think? Ducks break it out at center. Killorn got it into the Leaf zone. Quickly played by Marner back at center. Marner's playing defense here with Brody as it's deflected by Matthews down into the zone.
Well, we mentioned Lagesson left with the injury. Not come back.
Gudas got it up on the wing. It bounces to center. Matthews took a swipe at it. The Ducks get it back to the Toronto blue line, and it's cleared to the side of the net. A drop pass and a good shot by Strome, but a good save made by Martin Jones. That'll take us to commercial break. 8:52 to play 3rd period. The Leafs 8 and the Ducks of Anaheim 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we've introduced Same Game Parlay Plus. It's a game changer. Making a same game parlay across different games has never been easier because the biggest games and most popular markets are now.
Hey everybody, Mike from TSI. Join our awesome community today. You see all those awesome emojis in the chat? See everybody's names rolling down the bottom of the screen here? Get your name in that list. It's only 99 cents a month. 99 cents, you can't even get a coffee for 99 cents anymore, guys. Join today. Click the description of the video. You'll see the link to join in the description. let's get back to the action. Go Leafs, go. Let's finish strong, boys.
Name on it. Canadian, Ultra, XL, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Unhibernate. Verb. To laugh in the face of snow because you drive a Subaru. As in, when I unhibernate, I have the roads all to myself because my Subaru has symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and others don't. Or, the award-winning safety in my Subaru means I can unhibernate all winter while my neighbors stare longingly from their bedroom windows. Or my favorite usage, I am going to unhibernate this winter by visiting my local Subaru dealer today. Welcome to Uncommon Winter Confidence.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
What a brilliant move by Willie Nylander, and we have a tie game.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Face off in the Toronto zone to the right. Goaltender Martin Jones.
Come on, Austin Matthews has 5 goals in 2 periods at the end to our right. In the second period.
Yeah. Off the boards, deflected down into the Anaheim zone. Rattled around the wall, trapped by Nylander. Got it in front of the net, tried to set it up there for Bertuzzi, but it's played out into the center ice area, and now the Ducks get it into the Leaf end. Strome into the slot area, chipped away but stolen again, and the shot went wide. The rebound is knocked wide to the Toronto goal center, and again, and a good save made there by Jones once more.
Boy, Max Domi got into some trouble there, Joe. Picked up the puck in the high slot and tried to flip it past his man and take off, and it was knocked down, and and get 2 or 3 good chances at it. For Martin Jones, gave up the power play goal to Frank Vatrano in the opening period, and that's been it. Leafs are only out shooting Anaheim by a count of 29-18, but 8-1 on the scoreboard where it counts.
Our good friends at Leafs Jelly HD, who put together the highlights on the internet for us. Boys have had a busy day. Back to the point, long shot, deflects high and wide of the Leafs goal. Liljegren chases his man into the corner. The Ducks will send it around to Fowler at the near point. Fowler got it a little bit deeper, and a wrist shot by Silverberg was deflected, and the Leafs just get it out into center ice. Fowler taking it all the way back into his own zone with Robertson up chasing. And around the wall it'll come. Intercepted. Back from McMahon. Okay, what are the chances? Somebody phone Bet365 and tell me what the chances of Bobby McMahon getting 2 hat tricks in 3 games, because he's got 2 tonight. Brought out now by Carrick. Ducks get to center, dropping it off on the right wing side. Trying to get in was Max Jones. Jones taken to the boards by Benoit, and it is dug out of the corner, and the Leafs will just chip it out into the center ice area, courtesy Noah Gregor.
I'm going to ask you this, Sam. Is it
Leafs by Benoit, knocked down his man Jones, and then now we've got Carrick, and is that McMahon over there? And both of them are Ross Johnston now having a word with Bobby McMahon. And now it's Reeves out there, excuse me. And nothing more comes of that. And Reeves going to the bench, and then who does he run into? Someone else over there, and I'm sure the referees are going to say, all right, let's go. Get a few other guys over here and get them off.
That was Sam Carrick.
And that'll do that.
You know, and that's kind of a courtesy call as well. As Sam Carrick gets a 10-minute misconduct with 6:26 left. The officials could have punished them with an unsportsmanlike, right? But you don't really want to do that in an 8-1 game, 6 minutes to go.
I thought they were going to figure out a way to get Reeves out of the game, too.
Well, Ross Johnson Boy, you know what? Carrick came up with a pretty good high stick that caught Reeves. And Reeves thought that there would be a penalty called there. They let it go.
Number 39, Sam Carrick. Attempted misconduct. Time of the penalty, 13:34.
Played down into the Anaheim zone. Nyes hustling after it. Stumbled into the inboards. And now the Ducks get it out at center, only to have it intercepted. And Nyes gets it back in over the line. Nice drop pass. Here's a shot by Robertson. And that was kicked away nicely by Gibson.
Yeah, Robertson playing with Matthew and Nyes now. With Mitch Marner, as you mentioned, taking some shifts on defense.
He's playing defense this whole period. Drop pass now for McCabe, sent into the corner. Holmberg trying to dig it free but couldn't. And it's going to be swung out at center ice by Carlson for the Ducks. And down into the Leaf end, only to have Liljegren there to restore it for the Maple Leafs. Well, we've had a game where there have been 3 consecutive hat tricks. Austin Matthews, then McMahon, then Matthews, and Matthews again here tonight. There is no one in the National Hockey League that is hotter than number 34. Down into the Leaf zone it goes. Killorn dropping it back, gets it back again at the point, sends a long shot in towards the net, but it's intercepted and quickly played at center ice by Bobby McMahon. Killorn dropping it back, and in come the Ducks. Strome can't get a shot. Killorn to the far side, and fanning on it completely there was one of the Ducks defenders on the far side, Lindstrom. Now he'll play it back. Lindstrom gets it again down the boards, trying to get in. Taken out of the play efficiently there by Nyes. The Leafs get it up on the wing, but it won't clear. Ducks in the far corner. Strome trying to come out. Shot pad. Save. Another shot. Stopped by Jones. Another shot. Scores. Off to the side. Mississauga native Ryan Strome is going to get the Ducks' second goal of the game with 4:24 left to play.
And if you're Leaf, you're not going to be thrilled with the minus here late. And they dodged a number of bullets too, Joe, but Martin Jones ended up down and never could get set again. Because by the time Strome put this in, Jones was kind of sprawled forward. The blue paint got kind of stuck getting over from his left to his right. Strome had all kinds of room to snap it in.
9th of the year for Strome. Played down into the Toronto zone, around on the far side. Nyes takes Fowler out. Brody around back of the net, trying to chip it ahead. There was Lajoie, and he'll have to chase back after it as it goes back of the Toronto net. Under 4 minutes to play in this one. And a lot of folks have headed to see if the Gardner Expressway is any less busy right now than it normally is. 8-2, the Leafs with the lead. Played in over the line, a bouncing puck. Reeves sends it in. Gudas bumped into him. The puck still free. Now Reeves tried to take a run at Gudas. That didn't work. And the puck is back at center ice. Shot in over the line. Gudas around back of the net, swept to the far side. McCabe is able to keep it alive. Reeves sends it towards the front of the net. Bouncing puck in the corner for the Leafs, trying to come out with it. David Camp in against the board, centered, and Robertson couldn't get a stick on it. Brought to center ice by Troy Terry and just played into the Toronto zone. Lindstrom and Killorn get the assists on the goal. And it's going to be too little, way too late for the Ducks of Anaheim as we get a whistle here to stop play with 2:40 left to go in the game. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
What's up? This is Usher.
Slip into 3 decades of electrifying hits.
Songs from me that you know and love.
And unmistakably smooth vocals. Usher Radio. The stories behind his songs and a personal intro to his new album.
Coming home.
Good, but we still good. Usher Radio.
Check me out.
Happening now for a limited time on Channel 79 and the all-new SiriusXM app. Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are.
If you're a soccer fan, you know that this music means one thing. The Champions League is on SiriusXM FC.
Hat-trick for Erling Haaland. Kane scores.
The top teams from around Europe are battling for club soccer's holy grail.
Real Madrid do what they do best. What a start for Inter.
Hear all the top Champions League matches all tournament long on SiriusXM FC 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Under review.
The National Hockey League, it's the #1 league in the world. It's a tough league. It's not shinny. I never wanted to become a league where the stars get an extra step or two. And there is a real divide with some people who go, the NHL doesn't do enough for its stars. No, what we like about hockey is it's a team game.
Under review.
With Mick Kerr.
11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio.
SiriusXM 91 and the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
It's Radio Network.
Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph bringing you this 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in a laugher for the Maple Leafs 8-2. It'll be their 29th win of the year, their 66th point, and their 15th win on home ice.
And that's really, to me, been the important part of this stretch, is that home ice record had been abysmal.
Absolutely. Killorn in a duck zone, got it freed up. Pass comes ahead for Strome. He'll send it in. A break in on the wing. Good back checking there by Liljegren, and now he tries to feed it ahead. Robertson trying to break in on the right side, dropping it off for McMahon, but he couldn't handle it. Then he gets it back again in front of the net. Robertson with a shot. Scores! Nicky Robertson joins the party late.
But on this play, Bobby McMahon makes the play. He stops, falls with the puck. And it looks like Strome is just going to pick it up and skate past them. Instead, he gloves it to himself. And still prone on the ice at the top of the right wing circle. Finds a way to slip it over to Robertson. Robertson fakes the slapper, waits, readjusts, toe drags it around Ilya Babushkin, and then snaps it past Gibson for goal number 9. And Bobby McMahon is going to pick up another point.
8th of the season for Robertson. And the Maple Leafs match the goal that was scored in the third period here by answering there. Brought out at center to the line. And an offside called by the linesman. Wow. Well, let's see here. Radko Gudas.
-4?
Yes. So it's Vakanainen, he's -4.
Well, you know, Gudas has had a pretty good run in this building.
Yes, he
when
has.
you consider that 4-1, 4 games in this building last year in the playoffs. They won late in the season. It was actually their turning point game. And they were down and came back and won the game in overtime.
Assisted by number 74, Bobby McMahon.
McMahon gets the lone assist, and as Jimmy said, it was his play that freed the puck up. As it's played up on the wing now, and the Leafs are going to get it out at center ice, and Bertuzzi unable to get it into the offensive zone, and now an errant pass is going to result. Oh, thank you. Now that's an official. You got it. Actually, it was Gibson. Gibson, it was going to be icing, and he just skated out of the crease and said, no, let's just get this over with.
And we ain't staying here.
No, we're not staying for another face-off. Puck down in the offensive zone for the Ducks is going to be slapped in by Radko Gudas. And Liljegren plays it around the boards for Brody. Brody gets it up on the left wing. And the Leafs break it out with Camp in across the line. Fans are hoping for a 10 spot here. Gudas takes Camp to the boards. It comes back to the point. Near side for Brody. Brody can't send it to the net. Sends it around back of the net for Reeves. Reeves and Gudas bumping. The puck in front of the net. Shot down the ice.
Now Jones will do the same thing.
Yeah.
Now Reeves and Gudas on the ice, but this is done. Both players will head towards their goaltenders. And the Leafs win it 9-2, and fairly easy, maybe. Well, the first two Stars anyway, but obviously they're going to take this with Andrew Holland some creative
all right. It is
here.
brought to you, of course, by Molson's.
Timothy Liljegren, star number 3.
All right.
3 assists on the night for Liljegren, and maybe a little bit of a holdover from the assist that he had on the overtime winner a couple of nights ago by Willie Nylander.
Yep.
All right. Star number 2, Bobby McMahon. And let's go with the hat-trick man with a 5-point night, Austin Matthews, as star number 1.
A little easier when it's 9-2, isn't it?
It's a little harder when it's the other way.
Yes, it is. You got that right.
And we've done a few of those over the years as well.
Yes, we have. The Leafs start a 4-game road trip in St. Louis on Monday afternoon. Make sure you check the start time, 1 o'clock on Family Day. We'll be with you at that time. Well, lots to talk about, and Ailish Forfire and Justin Cuthbert will bring you along with the post-game show. The Leafs win it 9-2. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Hey everybody, Mike from Toronto Sports Insider. Thank you all for getting us over the 7,000 subscriber mark. Let's keep it going. Let's have some fun tonight in the chat. Smash that like button down below. And hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Turn that notification bell on so you can hang out with us every single Leafs game or Toronto sports event. Thank you all for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys soon. Let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go!
Internet 936. 5 p.m. Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Florida Panthers. Lightning on XM223 Internet 946. Panthers on Internet 932. 5 p.m. Minnesota Wild face the Buffalo Sabres. Wild on XM221 Internet 934. Sabres on Internet 923. 7 p.m. Montreal Canadiens take on the Washington Capitals. Canadiens on Sirius and XM channels 167 Internet 931. Capitals on Internet 950. 7 p.m. Toronto Maple Leafs face the Anaheim Ducks. Leafs on XM219 Internet 947. Ducks on Internet 920. 8 p.m. New Jersey Devils face the Philadelphia Flyers. Devils on XM220 Internet 937. Flyers on Internet 941. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. 10 p.m. Vancouver Canucks face the Winnipeg Jets. Canucks on Sirius and XM channels 167 Internet 948. Jets on Internet 951. 10:30 p.m. San Jose Sharks take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Sharks on XM219 Internet 943. Blue Jackets on Internet 928. 10:30 p.m. Vegas Golden Knights face the Carolina Hurricanes. Golden Knights on Sirius and XM channels 91 Internet 949. Hurricanes on Internet 925.
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 brings you expert analysis from former players, coaches, and executives, plus reaction to all the latest news on the only 24/7 station dedicated to the National Football League.
As we get near the All-Star break, the Philadelphia Flyers remain one of the feel-good stories of the season. The Orange and Black have been in the top echelon of the Eastern Conference pretty much since the season began, and Steve Coates, the color commentator on the team's radio broadcasts, joins Dave McCarthy on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM Channel 91, where he says he did feel that the club was going to be better than a lot of people thought.
Coming into the year, who would have expected this from the Flyers, given the way the last handful of years had gone, and you saw it up close, game in, game out. Where were you at coming into the year, and how far have the Flyers exceeded your expectations?
Well, they've definitely exceeded the expectations, but I definitely thought that this was going to be a team that was going to be a lot better than what people thought. And this is a classic example. It's a business policy course, basically, on you bring in new people and it doesn't work, and it basically destroyed the brand as it was. The Philadelphia Flyers were a very respected organization. It was a destination for free agents, and then all of a sudden it went away. The team didn't play well. We had a whole new front office, and it's not like an indictment of the people that came in, because they came in to think that they were going to do what they were supposed to do. But it didn't work, and it trickled down into the team. It trickled down into the culture of the whole organization. And what's happened now is that we have a new leadership. We have Flyer people running the hockey department, and Keith Jones and Danny Briere. And that's created a real boost to the attitude of the Philadelphia Flyers organization. So I'm telling you that that's where it starts. The Flyers have always been about the logo. And somehow along the way, and for different reasons, they lost sight of what was happening. And that's all back now. And this team, it's interesting. If you take a look, we got 9 number 1 draft picks that kind of were wallowing away because just the whole attitude. They bring in Torts last year. Torts in his position to be able to take the time to figure out what's happening. How is he going to get better? And then with the addition of Danny and Jonesy, they filled the gaps nicely, and it's a team. And, I am retired, but I did spend some time with them on the road. This is a team very much together, and they really believe in themselves, and that is proof of the way they play, because they do not quit. They were down 3-0 to Colorado yesterday, ended up losing 7-4, but they got it to 5-4. They're a group that are very much together and very confident, and that's what's making this so successful.
You brought up John Tortorella as well, Steve, and I remember when he got hired, there were a lot of eyebrows that got raised, right? I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to Torts much this year. Did he see something in this group that, at least, maybe not yourself included, but a lot of us didn't necessarily see when he came on board?
He's a very, very intelligent hockey man, and he's very honest. So, I would think, and he said, this team on paper is a lot better than it's playing.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Saturday, February the 17th. All times are Eastern, and please remember all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 12:30 p.m., Boston Bruins take on the LA Kings. Bruins on SiriusXM channels 91 Internet 922, Kings on Internet 933. 3 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks take on the Ottawa Senators. Blackhawks on XM220 Internet 926, Senators on Internet 940. 3 p.m. Dallas Stars face the Edmonton Oilers. Stars on SiriusXM channels 91 Internet 929, Oilers on Internet 931. 4 p.m. Calgary Flames face the Detroit Red Wings. Flames on XM219 Internet 924, Red Wings on Internet 930. 5 p.m. St. Louis Blues face the Nashville Predators. Blues on XM222 Internet 945, Predators on Internet 936. 5 p.m. Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Florida Panthers. Lightning on XM223 Internet 946, Panthers on Internet 932. 5 p.m. Minnesota Wild face the Buffalo Sabres. Wild on XM221 Internet 934, Sabres on Internet 923. 7 p.m. Montreal Canadiens take on the Washington Capitals. Canadiens on Sirius and XM channels 167 Internet 931, Capitals on Internet 950. 7 p.m. Toronto Maple Leafs face the Anaheim Ducks. Leafs on XM219 Internet 947, Ducks on Internet 920. 8 p.m. New Jersey Devils face the Philadelphia Flyers. Devils on XM220 Internet 937, Flyers on Internet 941, national feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. 10 p.m. Vancouver Canucks face the Winnipeg Jets. Canucks on Sirius and XM channels 167 Internet 948, Jets on Internet 951. 10:30 p.m. San Jose Sharks take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Sharks on XM219 Internet 943, Blue Jackets on Internet 928. 10:30 p.m. Vegas Golden Knights face the Carolina Hurricanes. Golden Knights on Sirius and XM channels 91 Internet 949, Hurricanes on Internet 925.
Hear it all on demand. Your favorite shows, your favorite games. Don't miss a second of your favorite SiriusXM programming on demand with the SiriusXM app. Download it now for free.
In a surprise move, the New York Islanders fired Lane Lambert as head coach and replaced him with Hall of Fame goaltender and former Colorado Avalanche head coach Patrick Waugh. Bruce Boudreau, himself a former NHL head coach, joined Scott Laughlin on the morning skate on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 91, to share some perspective on this development.
It's obviously big news. And I know in the coaching fraternity, anytime you lose your job, in this case Lane Lambert, it's not a great time for anybody, specifically Lane and his family. Just give us your thoughts on this news that somewhat came out of left field going back to Saturday.
Well, it comes out of left field, but at the same time, I mean, for the last couple of months, you've been hearing, Patrick come in and saying that he would do things different if he got another chance. There was talks of him being tied with Ottawa. Which made sense because of the French speaking and everything else. But I mean, you knew that Patrick was out there and wanted to get back to the NHL, and good for him. I mean, he had a pretty good run the first time. I mean, he won the Jack Adams in his first year and such. So I mean, obviously we know what he's done in the Quebec League. So him, getting back into it, even though it's been almost 10 years since he last was behind an NHL bench. I think it's like riding a bike. I think he's going to find out in a hurry. I mean, the very first game, you don't do much as far as changing anything except the way your mannerisms are behind the bench. And you could, if you were watching the game, Lane is way more of a quiet guy than Patrick is. And I think, he will be able to get the Islanders, a little more emotionally involved, I think. And I think that's probably what Lou wanted him to do.
Well, look, he mentioned as well, because we all know he was up for the Columbus job, and they wanted to go the route of Mike Babcock. In retrospect, I'm guessing that the Blue Jackets maybe have said to themselves collectively, man, what could have been if Patrick had been the guy over Mike, with all that played out with regarding that situation. But as a guy, Bruce, who has been there and done that. That is, you've taken over a team, and the team has immediately had a response. What are the biggest keys to getting everybody on board with what you're trying to impart? As you say, when you first get there, you don't want to change too much. But over the course of a couple of weeks or a couple of months, what has to change for you to kind of implement your system, your way of doing things, your way of winning? What has to happen over the course of a couple of months to make a successful venture for you and your new team?
Well, usually and almost all the time, when you take over a team in mid-season, it's because the team isn't doing very well. Mm-hmm. They're losing. So the first thing you have to do is instill confidence and make them feel like they're good players and be a good team. And I think that's the thing that what I've done is gone in initially and tried to build their confidence up again, because they've been so down for so long. Usually you just try to keep building them up.
The PGA Tour comes to life on SiriusXM. It's your destination for everything on the tour. Hear live hole-by-hole coverage and expert analysis. PGA Tour Radio, SiriusXM 92.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Saturday, February the 17th. All times are Eastern, and please remember all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 12:30 p.m., Boston Bruins take on the LA Kings. Bruins on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 922. Kings on Internet 933. 3 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks take on the Ottawa Senators. Blackhawks on XM 220, Internet 926. Senators on Internet 940. 3 p.m., Dallas Stars face the Edmonton Oilers. Stars on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 929. Oilers on Internet 931. 4 p.m., Calgary Flames face the Detroit Red Wings. Flames on XM 219, Internet 924. Red Wings on Internet 930. 5 p.m., St. Louis Blues face the Nashville Predators. Blues on XM 222, Internet 945. Predators on Internet 936. 5 p.m., Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Florida Panthers. Lightning on XM 223, Internet 946. Panthers on Internet 932. 5 p.m., Minnesota Wild face the Buffalo Sabres. Wild on XM 221, Internet 934. Sabres on Internet 923. 7 p.m., Montreal Canadiens take on the Washington Capitals. Canadiens on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 931. Capitals on Internet 950. 7 p.m., Toronto Maple Leafs face the Anaheim Ducks. Leafs on XM 219, Internet 947. Ducks on Internet 920. 8 p.m., New Jersey Devils face the Philadelphia Flyers. Devils on XM 220, Internet 937. Flyers on Internet 941. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. 10 p.m., Vancouver Canucks face the Winnipeg Jets. Canucks on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 948. Jets on Internet 951. 10:30 p.m., San Jose Sharks take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Sharks on XM 219, Internet 943. Blue Jackets on Internet 928. 10:30 p.m., Vegas Golden Knights face the Carolina Hurricanes. Golden Knights on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 949. Hurricanes on Internet 925.
SiriusXM has soccer covered end to end. SiriusXM FC. Hear live play-by-play and talk shows hosted by legends of the game. It's SiriusXM FC on Channel 157.
After a miserable start to the season, they're one of the hottest teams in the National Hockey League right now, and it looks like they've improved themselves with the addition of a savvy veteran forward with lots of winning on his resume. On their 32 Thoughts podcast, regular NHL Network Radio contributors Jeff Merrick and Elliot Friedman take a look at the latest from Northern Alberta's team.
The Edmonton Oilers are about to get more interesting. Corey Perry to the Oilers.
You know, I'd be curious to know, did they think they were absolutely certain that they were going to get him? And, you know, one of the things I absolutely believe that Perry was weighing was how quote-unquote loud a place does he want to go to. Edmonton is a Canadian market, a very intense one, with a team that has reestablished itself as a Stanley Cup contender, and that is not a quiet place to play. And I had heard, as I'd mentioned to you several times, one of the questions was, would he want to stay away from that situation? Now, I do think he was considering, like a couple teams from quote-unquote louder markets had reached out to him. I think some teams from quieter markets had reached out to him. I think some of his former teams had interest, but I'm not sure if it was late Saturday night or early Sunday morning when ultimately the decision was made. It might have been Sunday morning, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I also have no doubt that just like they did with some other players they've recruited, Edmonton's Twin Towers and nuclear weapons may have been a part of this recruitment as well. But the Oilers, and I'm expecting that they're going to put a player on waivers on Monday. I'm going to be very curious to see if Holloway, who was just called back up from Bakersfield after an injury, is the guy is the guy who plays with Perry, at least to start, whenever Perry returns to the NHL. But like I said, I was moderately surprised it was the Oilers, because there was definitely some conversation about, was a Canadian market the right place? But ultimately, it is.
Edmonton has been interested in Corey Perry for a while. They didn't get a shot last year because, Chicago made the move and signed him, pretty much right away. So Edmonton really didn't get a chance at him in the offseason. But this is someone that the Oilers have had on their radar for a little while.
I agree with that. Look, he can still help teams win. There's no question about it. And again, without knowing 100% of the details, I don't want to weigh in on exactly what occurred in Chicago, with the caveats that he was never put on any list where he had reinstatement. Although teams did want to know that the league would not stand in their way or raise an eyebrow or have any issue with them signing Perry, and we found out last week the league would not have a problem with that. And the other thing that still is a matter here is that I think they still have a week, the NHLPA does, to appeal this contract termination from Chicago, which they are expected to do.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Saturday, February the 17th. All times are Eastern, and please remember all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 12:30 p.m., Boston Bruins take on the LA Kings. Bruins on Sirius and XM channels 91 Internet 922, Kings on Internet 933. 3 p.m., Chicago Blackhawks take on the Ottawa Senators. Blackhawks on XM 220 Internet 926, Senators on Internet 940. 3 p.m. Dallas Stars face the Edmonton Oilers. Stars on Sirius and XM channels 91 Internet 929, Oilers on Internet 931. 4 p.m. Calgary Flames face the Detroit Red Wings. Flames on XM 219 Internet 924, Red Wings on Internet 930. 5 p.m. St. Louis Blues face the Nashville Predators. Blues on XM 222 Internet 945, Predators on Internet 936. 5 p.m. Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Florida Panthers. Lightning on XM 223 Internet 946, Panthers on Internet 932. 5 p.m. Minnesota Wild face the Buffalo Sabres. Wild on XM 221 Internet 934, Sabres on Internet 923. 7 p.m. Montreal Canadiens take on the Washington Capitals. Canadiens on Sirius and XM channels 167 Internet 931, Capitals on Internet 950. 7 p.m. Toronto Maple Leafs face the Anaheim Ducks. Leafs on XM 219 Internet 947, Ducks on Internet 920. 8 p.m. New Jersey Devils face the Philadelphia Flyers. Devils on XM 220 Internet 937, Flyers on Internet 941, national feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. 10 p.m. Vancouver Canucks face the Winnipeg Jets. Canucks on Sirius and XM channels 167 Internet 948, Jets on Internet 951. 10:30 p.m. San Jose Sharks take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Sharks on XM 219 Internet 943, Blue Jackets on Internet 928. 10:30 p.m. Vegas Golden Knights face the Carolina Hurricanes. Golden Knights on Sirius and XM channels 91 Internet 949, Hurricanes on Internet 925.
SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio is the place for expert advice, strategy, and information from the best fantasy sports analysis to win your league. Plus, hear pick-by-pick coverage of live drafts and interviews with top players, coaches, and team executives on SiriusXM 87.
Patrick Waugh has been hired as the new head coach of the New York Islanders, his second go-round as an NHL head coach after holding that spot with the Colorado Avalanche in the 2010s. Regular NHL Network Radio contributor Jeff Merrick talks to former NHL head coach Bruce Boudreau, who's guest co-hosting on The Morning Skate on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 91, about being an NHL bench boss for the second time.
Did you find that of all your coaching stops along the way, that you were maybe the best version of yourself in your second job? Like with Anaheim, because you had the confidence already of having coached with the Washington Capitals, and you really sort of you learn the lessons from the first time you coach in the NHL, and then you start to hit your stride when you're on your second job. Did you find that? Because it seems very much, if you look at Lou Lamoriello's MO, he likes to hire the people that are going on their second gigs.
It's interesting. I think I was much more.
Hey everybody, Mike from Toronto Sports Insider. Thank you all for getting us over the 7,000 subscriber mark. Let's keep it going. Let's have some fun tonight in the chat. Smash that like button down below. And hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Turn that notification bell on so you can hang out with us every single Leafs game or Toronto sports event. Thank you all for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys soon. Let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go!